The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.
What's going on? What's happening? Hope you guys like the new intro. Things are a bit brief. Nice. Let's bring in the brother.
Ah, well, this is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We got Mr. Matthew Telhart from Telhart Actual joining us here for the live stream. And,
yeah, man, happy to be here.
Yeah, man, it's an honor to have you. I've chatted a lot over Instagram and live streams and everything else. Ground Fog's here already. Kurt 24. He said we're running on dark time. Says, "What's up, Telhart?" So yeah, man. Getting back to my schedule. Used to do live streams every Wednesday and Friday. They kind of stopped around September of last year, right before I had the litter of puppies. Because it was a challenge having that first litter.
I'll bet. That's a lot to handle, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We're a little better at it this time. It's like having the second kid, you know, like you're used to things. You're like, oh, I know exactly what to get. We'll just set it up like this. Less having to like direct research. And but Telhart, why don't you go tell them where you're from, what you do, and I got one scratching at my door. I'm gonna let him
in. So I'm Matthew Telhart. I run a newly formed LLC called Telhart Handmade Customs and Designs. I primarily make knives. Right now, I'm focusing on stock removal, but when I first started doing it, it was pretty much all forged to finish work. I also make jewelry. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what I do. It's what I love to do. Started doing that about 6 years ago when I moved back to Illinois after my dad had a couple of strokes. So I moved back to help him out. So it kind of became like a, therapeutic outlet. But then, every time I made one and the next one was a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And it's always something I've wanted to do. So figure, you just go with it and make it work. And that's pretty much what I do now full time. Doing a lot of like small batch stock removal stuff. Just came out with a small series kind of to help out the Nomad here, RDR. A little variant on pretty much the first little EDC stock removal knife, the first design that I kind of started mass producing. I call that the Houndstooth. It's very thin, very lightweight, pretty much geared towards utility, but can also be pushed in a defensive role. But go ahead and show some of these off. As I'm calling these the Stray Dog. This is a double-edged version, different color. This is a flat dark earth. The other one's a combination of OD green and coyote brown. And let's see, there we go. This is the full serrated version.
I think I could pull up pictures as well. Let's try.
Oh, what's up, Dark?
Dark's in the building. Yeah. Telhart, I just saw them. They look awesome on the picture tomorrow. I appreciate it, Dark. Appreciate you, bro. I realized I think I left my water in the car, so I'm running on my little boy's bottle for the night. Yeah, let me try to pull up pictures.
Yeah, and the whole
Alright.
thing is, RDR is going through a little bit of a tough time right now, and I kind of want to, not to air out your business or anything, homie, but
Yeah.
it happens to
Oh,
everybody. We all fall in these slumps, and it especially now. It's tricky. It's tricky to dig yourself out of those holes, man. I mean, everything seems to be against you, but that's when it's time for the community, people friends in Christ, to step up and make sure nobody sinks in the storm. So, if you like one of these, definitely hit up the Nomads Cash App right there, and
let's see if I can share it.
we will we'll send those out to you.
Screen share.
Down the double-edged version.
Here, let me put you on the big screen with them.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, double-edged version there. Comes with a little bit different Kydex sheath. This one's got the Polka Dot soft loop.
Wow, those are even bigger in person than in the pictures.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got there you go for a full fist grip. It's got about a 2.5 inch blade. Fits the hand nice for you to get a good grip. It's bulky enough, just bulky enough to aid with transitions, and it's got this nice little leather snake knot to help you with the draw.
Let me see. Set is desktop warm now.
Hmm.
Dark might have to explain how I take a picture from pictures, turn it into mail messages.
Yeah, Dark's got that computer knowledge.
Yeah,
I am like a caveman.
I could figure it out, but like being on the fly, it's like.
Yeah, I know the files are in the computer. That's like pretty much all I've got.
I was hoping I could screen share. Okay, so he texted them to me. I have them in my photos on my computer, but you can't screen share, I think, until it goes in like a window. Info.
Yeah, we'll just show these
I'm gonna
again so you don't have to stare at my ugly bug. There you go. There's the full serrated version. Single bevel.
I think he's freezing up.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. You can get you to freeze like right on the knife. Let's drop a little background music. I still have like hundreds of, well, I don't know about hundreds, but I have like 25 windows open from trying to get off on being unemployed. Actually haven't gotten any unemployment because I've actually been so busy applying for things that like all the requirements they want, and for like it's like $200 a month. They're like, you have $3,000 and you can get $200 a month, and I'm like, okay, so you want me to do like I have to go. Oh, let me turn that down. And I really don't want to seek any unemployment. But I mean, when I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, I mean, you pay into it. You might as well get it if you actually need it, right? But they make it so difficult. It's like a full-time job, going through the website and all the rigmarole, the interviews. I mean, It's ridiculous. If you were like a refugee, they just give it to you.
I have to take every job that I apply for and not just like be like, yes, I applied. You have to put like the job ID number, the website to the job, and I'm like, I didn't save every detail. So then I have to go back through emails and be like, okay, this one I applied for, then get the information, then transfer it over to the window. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, I need to be applying for jobs, not doing it.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I don't know. Also, because I changed my channel name, let's see if my chat works. Actually, I think I have a banner. There we go. There's the Cash App on the banner.
Oh, nice.
I prefer Cash App and not PayPal because PayPal yanks money, but if you got to do PayPal. And yeah, I still have Thank You Channel sponsors Kurt24 and Drew in Oregon because they've Cash Apped before.
Nice.
Now you can screen share a pic you have up. You just have to change the tab at the top and toggle between Chrome tab and just something else on the computer like an open file. Okay, so I have to leave it open. That's probably what it is, I guess. I
There's
have
some
it
sort of magic.
But yeah, man, I wanted the whole show tonight to be like focused on having faith in these situations. Like I know my wife is dealing with more mentally than I am. Like I have a strong amount of faith, and like just wanted to kind of talk to people about maybe I have to hit slides and PDFs, or can I just hit screen share image file? Maybe that's the one. So then if I do that and I go to okay, so then I go there and then I can go there. I think that's the magic. I think I did it. There it is.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So those are the 4 knives. The one serrated has the OD. Is that OD green or is that black? The sheath on that one.
Yeah, the serrated has the OD green, and then the double edge is the one with the black.
Nice. Did you do are you doing your sheaths too?
Oh yeah, I do the whole thing, everything in house. Sheaths, roughing out the blanks, heat treat, coating. It's all in house.
Sick. And they definitely like look bigger than they do on there. That's a cinder block. So you think almost half a whole cinder block.
Yeah. Let me see if
Size-wise.
I got a tape around here. Give me 1 second.
Oh man, Kurt24 just sent me a Cash App for $25. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I think I got some side work coming up this week. I got the mortgage covered, electricity's covered, and so yeah, my wife's little side job she does covered groceries today, so we're getting there. And I've already put in 2 applications for 2 police departments. I have to really soup up my resume for the main city police department because they're asking for a lot more. But I am going in, and I hope that I don't have to wait until like August or something to have an open start to the academy. Because with a sponsorship, they will actually pay me. It's only $20 an hour, which is not much more than minimum wages currently, but that's just why I'm in the academy. And then I would have like a 2-3 year contract. You know, I also want to give a shout out to Stephanie Mullins. She sent me a $1 Cash App like the other day randomly. I think she rewatched my live stream or something. She has a Caleb House logo. So if you know Bear from Bear Independent, who runs Caleb House, which is it's an organization that helps fight child trafficking and take care of children who have been trafficked. And she just sent me $1 saying, "Much love from Kentucky, brother. I'm praying you get a job." And I really wanted to give Stephanie Mullins a shout out. I don't know if that's her name necessarily or anybody knows who that is, so I probably shouldn't have said her name. I apologize for that. But thank you so much. But yeah, man, like it's in life, and like this is obviously like a tough situation, but like things can always be worse, right? Like I thank God for guys like Telhart, Dark, who's helped me, Drew, Kurt. Like having you guys as a community is a massive blessing. And you know, I talked to someone today because I had to run by the gun store. I actually made a trade with a friend of mine. He was trying to get rid of a couple things, and he wanted some stuff I had. So we made a trade. It was a little unbalanced, I have to say, but he was happy with the trade, and I was super happy with the trade. And he traded me a Trigicon RMR and an EOTech Voodoo 5x25 for an AR that I built, an optic, a mount, and then I'm going to throw him some magazines and stuff that he wanted. I just have to change the base plates because of the type of fire control unit he's running. But I have them. I just have to find them and do it for him. But the RMR was on a 45-degree mount, and the mount, when he went to, because the RMR is a bottom-fed battery tray, which I talk about all the time, he was trying to take it off to change the battery, and he broke a bit off in the screw. So we have like an older gentleman who works at the gun store part-time, kind of like me, like one of the guys who does stuff for the gun store but doesn't necessarily work at the gun store. And he's like the guy for doing all that stuff. He has drill presses at his house. He has like a workshop at his house, old school guy who's just good at all that stuff. And so he met me up there, and I gave it to him to take care of. And I was talking to the lady who I'm friends with up there. She's a big woman of faith. We have a lot of conversations about scripture, and like she brings her Bible to work every day. So like there's days where I would sit in there and just go through different scriptures with her. She would have questions about certain things. And I really, whenever someone asks me about scripture, I really only try to interpret scripture with scripture. So that way I'm not the one like putting my own take on things. It's like, well, look, this says this here, but it also kind of describes that over here, over here, over here, and over here. And actually, let me grab this Bible so I could show something. So this is and I love this thing. I've had it a really long time. It has the full armor of God on it. It's my leather bound that I keep my Bibles in because this is thick enough to keep multiple Bibles. And so in my book, I keep the Book of Enoch actually with my two Bibles that I keep in here. And these are really special to me. One was a gift to me on my birthday. I think when I turned about 22, maybe 23, by this person I mentioned before in chats. It's kind of such an incredible story that I don't get too deep into it. But I pretty much primarily only read this, a 1611 King James. It does have the Apocrypha in it, if anybody knows what that means. And like when I go through my entire, like you can see how much I've read, highlighted, like the whole book. Okay. And that's just one. The other one is exactly the same. So how many times I've done that? I have a third one of these as well. And that one's actually another soft bound or another hard bound. I can't remember. But I actually really like the soft bounds. And obviously I've done my own tabs. Like this is how long I've been doing this, that I've tabbed everything. But we were talking about a lot of like the alien stuff that's coming out recently, if anybody's been hearing about that, and like what could be coming ahead. And like she's like, you're not going to believe the alien stuff, right? And I was like, come on, you know who you're talking to, right? And so we were just getting into stuff, and it just made me think a lot about like how hard things can be. And actually, I was talking with Delta Mike today, and he was like, dude, you should really do a video like about how people are not prepared. And I was like, that's probably an easy video, because I actually think it could get really bad where like no matter how much preparations you have, unless you're who's the guy that owns Facebook with like your own $10 billion facility underneath an island somewhere, like things can be that bad that even with a farm, even with all the preps in the world, like things can be that bad. And, we try to be as prepared as possible, but like as someone of faith, you always have to know, like you will face really hard times in life. And like, if you haven't faced those times, God bless you. because that's amazing, right? Like to live a life of comfort is a super big blessing. And anybody who's just coming in, we are selling these 4 knives, and Telhart is actually donating the money to me since I lost my job last month. So if anybody purchases one of the knives, you send it to my Cash App. And yeah, I am making sure he at least gets the cost of the materials and everything he put in so he can buy more materials to keep doing his knife stuff. But he's super generous, and I cannot thank him enough for offering to do this to help out. But like going into the scriptures, man, it's a whole other world, and there's so many levels to it. Like I forget who I was talking to, but like about, I think it was my buddy I trained with, and he was like, yeah, he's like, there's just some things they say you shouldn't talk about politics and you shouldn't talk about religion. And I'm like, geez, that's like almost my whole YouTube channel. And I'm like, the one thing I was going on, I was like, we were talking about how like 11 of the 13 original colonies, like you had to profess, there are 150, Kurt, and they will get shipped directly to your door. I read the scriptures. Amen, Drewski. Amen. Even my book of Enoch is like I've gone through line by line, precept after precept, and it has been some years. I mean, like, fortunately, I had a massive on fire for God before I had kids, so like I did a lot of reading in the time that I had when that time was available to me. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've done it so many times that now I fall back. I need to read more. But there is this level of reading scriptures that when you really catch fire for God, it's very similar to the like the more you know, and I believe this is said in the book of Ecclesiastes. There's 2 books of Ecclesiastes, so I usually call them that. But there's in the Apocrypha, there's the book of Ecclesiasticus, and then I think in the Old Testament it is called Ecclesiastes. Yes, Ecclesiastes. But remember, I read in Old English, so like a lot of my words and how I say things are slightly different. But Ecclesiastes, I believe, is like the modern way to say it. But in the Apocrypha, there's also another completion to the book of Ecclesiastes called Ecclesiasticus, and it has more awesome forms of wisdom and sayings. But in that book, it says like the more you gain wisdom, the more grief that you have, and it's like that on steroids when you read scripture and you pour yourself into scripture, because you're like, oh my gosh, like then you go to church and you're like, but why doesn't people get these scriptures? And like you're a Christian, and then like you meet these people, and then you become more judgmental, and you're like, but let me point out this, and they're like, yeah but and you get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't want to be this like person that pounds people with laws, right? Like it says we should do this, and I need to show grace, so like there has to become this balance of like, I'm not gonna like force every like, hey, by the way this, hey, by the way that, hey, by the way God should do that. I do think like if you have a strong group, that the iron can continually sharpen the other iron, because if you're made of iron, you can't just start beating things not made of iron, otherwise it's going to be damaged. So it just made me think a little bit about some of those things recently, and certain people you can share certain scriptures with and your faith with, and some people you can't, and you need to know when to not do that and just let the scriptures. I think the way Dark has put it before is preach the gospel, and when necessary, show it. Dark, maybe you could put that in the comments what it is. And it's basically like just living your life should be a testimony for your belief system. And beating people over the head with the rules in the book is not always going to bring people closer. And all you can do is share it. You don't want to push people away. But it goes back into saying is like the times are rough that are coming, and having mass amounts of faith. There it is. Preach the gospel, and when necessary, use words. That's right. That's the quote. I knew you would put that one in. You're probably doing 5 things at once, but I knew you would find time to show up and drop that for me. Thank you. Damian Christian, good to see you. G23, what's going on? I have learned to say what's on my mind, so no regrets on my words. Yeah. That's always a good thing. I mean, it's just there's a level, and this is why Jesus spoke in parables, right? Because there's a level of not creating this tension, right? They already wanted to kill the guy, but if he would have not spoken in parables, he might not have made it to the Passover when he was supposed to die, And it's a level of spiritual awareness and the Holy Spirit moving in you to like, okay, how is someone going to receive this? And it goes back to like just humanity, right? Like where you reflect on, okay, so, and I'm probably, obviously I'm not perfect. I probably made mistakes. You can watch many of my old live streams to show like maybe I haven't said things right all the time. I can easily admit to that. But it's just something to think about, because faith is so much bigger than us as humans and our individual faith and our individual relationship with Christ. And he's moving, and he's so massive, and he can reach down and save anyone at any time. So,
and he does.
I get word.
He does.
Yeah, he does. So, just don't shut doors, man. That's the one thing, is let God open every door.
Yeah, don't cut yourself off from having these opportunities. I mean, no matter what you've done in life, you're never too far gone to accept God's love and grace and Jesus' forgiveness. I mean, like you were saying, I think it's super important to meet people where they're at. Like, that's why Jesus spoke in parables. He didn't just lay down the law like the Old Testament. I mean, yeah, it's important. The Old Testament's very important, but that new covenant in Christ's blood is where we're at today.
Yep.
We got to meet people where they're at, show them through our actions that you're not, it doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter what you've done in the past. You can today come to Christ and ask for forgiveness, and he will give it to you.
Amen. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And I'm pretty sure, I forget who I've heard this, because there's been a lot of people, there's like the one unforgivable sin, right? Which is the rejection of the Holy Spirit. To blaspheme the Holy Spirit is what it says. And I've heard a couple people be like, well, that's like if you verbally blaspheme the Holy Spirit. But I've heard another guy explain it where it's like, no, the really only unforgivable sin is the rejection of him, which is that's blaspheming the Holy Spirit, because your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So to blaspheme the Holy Spirit is that you don't accept it into you. And if you don't accept the Holy Spirit inside of you, that is the unforgivable sin, because you chose to not allow it in there.
Absolutely. And you've closed the door.
Yep.
And I think verbalizing it helps you do that internally. And that's why they kind of go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And it's also going to show is like, there's nothing that you already done that can't be forgiven. And a lot of people have probably met people who are like, I can't do this, or I don't deserve it, or all those kind of things. And it really is just, you have to accept the gift and then what it means to have the gift, you know? Like if someone were to come up to you and gift you 100 acres, a farm, animals, you know, a beautiful family. Yes, you have it, right? And no one can really take it away from you because it's yours. But on the other hand, is you could not tend to it properly.
Mhm.
And that farm will go to crap, and that family could go to crap, and your animals could pass, and your crops could not be so good. So, you know, you have to. It is the judge a tree by its fruits. It's like, well, he is the tree of life. You must show the fruits that are bearing the tree of life that you were given, and it's just that simple. It's so simple that people overthink it a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's a two-way street. You know, you can't just keep asking and asking and asking, but never be listening and seeing, right? Like you're praying, and it's like God's doing these things for you. You might not be able to recognize what's happening, but they're happening. So you just have to open your heart, open your eyes, and see what's happening for you.
Amen. Tell Hart on your IG, how much is one like the third picture?
Ooh, the third picture. Be more specific.
I think he's talking about this one right here.
Oh, okay. Those go for like $220 shipped. Yeah, and I'm gonna be a lot of those are gonna be available at Definition Knives coming pretty soon. I finally got word back from the IRS, so I finally have the EIN number, but I still have to get the bank account and link that with the website. So it's for my website coming up live. It's going to be a little while, so Dark's helping me out with that, and he's going to post some of those keepers up on the Definition Knives website.
Sweet. Dude, your knives are so sick, dude.
Oh, thank you.
I have always wanted to forge blades, like always, right? And I should just get to doing it, right? Like that's the best way to start is just start doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But my wife, every time she's like, "Oh, I remember when you used to sit there and watch Forged in Fire all the time." Like, and I've never watched like crap, right? Like I would watch Forged in Fire and things like that.
Forbid a man have hobbies, right?
But yeah, I mean, ever since those days, and that was maybe a decade ago, maybe more. Probably, you know, when Forged in Fire was popular. I don't know how long it's been since I've had cable television, or if I were what I watched it on. I probably watched it on Netflix because I think it was on Netflix. But yeah, I've always wanted to, and like my goal in life is like whatever I wanted to do that I don't get to do, I just want to present at least those opportunities for my children to do them. Like me and my wife both loved riding horses, and we found out we could do horse riding lessons for our daughter, who and it's paid for by the homeschooling. And so we were like instantly like sign her up, like let's and there was a day I was watching her and I was just like amazed. I was like, man, I am so happy that she's doing this. Like I would have wanted to do that all day long. I've only got to ride a horse, I think, once in my life. And it was cool. Like I got to ride it for hours. But like that feeling, and like my wife has done it, and it was just like she loved horses before she ever got to, and it was just like I'm just so happy that she's been able to do it. So like with my son too, I'm like, dude, as soon as I can, if I can get homeschool to pay for forging classes, like you're going.
You probably can. I mean, that's a very positive outlet for children. I mean, it's not as dangerous as a lot of people think it is. I mean, as long as you set up the forge safely, if they're using firearms, it's the same kind of thing. You establish the rules, you're with them, And then once they know how to act and what to do and what's exactly dangerous, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you expose them to things like that too, and you do it safely, and you explain rules, and they can visually see the danger, it's actually way safer than, because like there's stuff around the house that can kill you, and it doesn't look dangerous,
No. Antifreeze is sweet.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you have a pool of antifreeze, a dog is just going to lick that up because it's delicious, apparently. But we know not to drink it.
Yeah. So I mean, firearms and all that. Like if you're doing the things the proper way, it's so good for them to experience like the power that is behind different things in a safe manner, so they can earn a respect for that power.
Absolutely. And those boundaries go so far in the development of that child too. Like safe, structured boundaries are essential. We see it today with kids that grew up having no boundaries, no recourse for their actions, and you see how they act on the internet and on the news. Like, it's ridiculous.
OG Bobby, what's going on? Dark, if you want to hop in, I think Delta Mike will eventually join us as well. Appreciate you, Dark. Appreciate you.
What's up, everybody in chat? I can't see, so I can't really respond, but what's going on, everybody?
I can always pull them up too, so that way they pop up. Blade HQ sucks. Yeah.
It can.
it's not too bad. I've ordered from Blade HQ. That was like my Blade site for a while, but like I always order things like a cheap flipping. Yeah, like just cheaper knives. I've always been the cheaper knife kind of guy. I haven't had that budget, but I have come across some nice things. I entered a giveaway, so I want to give a shout out to a couple people. This guy, I think, checked on YouTube. It shows it says it's going 10 a.m. not 10 p.m. Yeah, I messed up the time now twice, so that'll stop happening soon.
I fixed it with magic.
Yeah. Let's see. So I won a giveaway today on Instagram. From Swift Designs and Textiles. So I want to pull up his website and give him a shout out. Hold on. See if I can do this. Yeah, I've already applied for that one, so it should be good. So his site is Swift Designs and Textiles.com. Okay, let's just not .comment and Google search it. Swift Design. Okay, so not designs and textiles. Swift Design and Textiles. And let's share that. Yeah, I think it's just because I have so many windows open. I almost joined TaxSwap today. They want $20 for the year, which I still might do because like I'm gonna try to sell all the things if I'm not using it, it's getting put up for sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Swift Designs and Textiles. Padded slings. This is a pretty cool signal panel, so it folds into itself. I think I want a sling, and I won this shirt. This shirt is really sick. So it's got the old pirate,
Nice.
but it has the TLR1 on it with the RMR, and he's got the sewing thumb. I forget what they call that. Thumb needle?
Symbol.
A thimble. That's right. I sew without them and just prick myself all the time.
So you get thicker skin.
Yeah,
When I
that's
touch
true.
the 36 grit belt, my fingertips are like leather.
Yeah, mine are pretty cut up from tying paracord to the end of my knives, and then when you pull it, lesson learned, dude. When you have a knife in a sheath, okay, and you go to pull that last piece of paracord, just be very mindful of like where the knife is, where your hand is on the sheath, and everything else, because when you pull it, it's coming out, guys. These are actually awesome though. So the camel tote that's pretty cool. Like if you're toting around a med kit or have one in the car, but these are absolutely awesome. These tourniquet fold outs. So like it just holds in there, boom, boom, and out. Those are super, super sick. Your tourniquet just lays in there nicely, so it's not super hard to get out. And then you just have that tab and unfold it so you can access it quickly. So that's really cool. I should tell him he should make them for the like a pocket version for the small everyday carry tourniquets.
Yeah.
The ETQs.
Yeah, but that seems nice for like attaching it to your sling or your buttstock. That way, it stays clean, readily available.
Very cool. So yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out, man. Pretty cool to win a giveaway. That's my second giveaway I've ever won on Instagram. So if I tag you or you want me to tag you in giveaways, there's a guy. I forget his name. Hold on, it's what's his page name? But he enters like I can't even tell you how many giveaways this guy enters, and he tags me in all of them. And I don't go and enter all of them, but if it's something that like I'm interested in, I'm like, yeah, and they look like a cool company, I'll repost it and I'll enter it. But I've won a suppressor before, and I've won that, and I've talked to people, and they're like, I don't even think they actually give stuff away. They're just looking for follows and stuff. And I'm like, well, I've won two. So like, if you don't think they're real, just give it a shot. You never know. You might actually win. And it's a pretty cool thing to just, get something unexpected. I actually messaged him. I'm like, dude, this is so cool. I appreciate you guys selecting me or however you did this. I had a talk with him. I invited him to the show. He said he would come on, but he doesn't want to show his face because he's active. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's no problem at all. I need some MOS screws. I probably have tons of MOS screws. Bro. Which ones do you need? Because I don't think I use any of my MOS stuff. So let me know what you need, Dark, and I'll get it to you.
Swamp Fox makes like a big package of like all of the screws for optics. I mean, that thing has been a lifesaver for me. And it's not too expensive either. But it's got like literally all of the screws. It's great.
A little promotion, including self-promotion, goes a long way. Yeah, for sure. Could you wait till the following week to ship? I will be out of town till the 21st. Yeah, I'm sure he could. Kurt, you know that you could.
Whatever you want.
Everybody in the chat, dude, got your back in those lives and in the chat. I need the ones that boop to the plate. That boop to the plate? You mean the ones that put the plate on the slide? Boop. Yeah, I mean, I'll as soon as I get off, bro, I'll look for them. I'm pretty sure they're just in my boxes because I've always used aftermarket plates. I actually found a thing today when I stopped by the gun store to drop that RMR to the guy so he could fix it for me. I ran into a guy. He runs like Glock shooting competitions, and I almost picked up a Glock. Good thing I didn't. By the way, Telhart, on YouTube we cannot handle any firearms.
No touchies.
Cool.
Staying in the waistband.
And so he hands me, he's like, look at this thing I got. It really helps me shoot. And it's like a big piece of rubber that goes around the grip with like a little like piece sticking off it. And he's like, when you grip it, just, give it a good twist. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know how to hold my Glocks. I'm like, this doesn't work for me. If it works for you, that's cool. But he runs these Glock shooting competitions. And I guess I've already missed the one for the year that was close by. But they're free to enter, and the winner wins a firearm, wins a Glock.
Wow.
And he's like, after you win, I think 3 or 4 Glocks, you get master ranking. And he's like, what's really cool is if you've already won a Glock, and let's say you're like the 6th place winner, and the first 5 guys before you have already won Glocks for the year, you get the Glock. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I'm like, so I'm gonna try it. I mean, obviously, I really want to do shooting competitions, but I'm not buying anything. I'm not shooting anything besides a Glock, and I don't care. You can have me shoot irons. You can let me choose which one I want. I have the Radiant. I don't really care. I'm gonna take whatever you guys say I can have, but absolutely, I want to do those. But it was cool because I think that one is also like $20 or $30 for the year to be a member. But he says that you don't have to pay it if you just show up to the competition. You can compete. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, I'll just wait until the competition comes.
Yeah.
So that was cool though. It was cool talking to him. He's an older guy. He was a law enforcement officer for a long time, and now he runs these. He's like, yo, I'm the one that runs them and organizes them. He's like, here's the website. He's like, you go to it, set it up. I'm like, cool. Okay. Are you opposed to black with a pattern on it, or do you prefer all black? Okay, someone must be getting a holster from the Armsman. Oh, okay, that's what he was saying. He's getting okay, got you. Armsman makes phenomenal holsters. Absolutely love them. Yeah, I mean, Fat Tag makes good holsters. Armsman makes good holsters. I have both, and I'm really interested in the new Fat Tack one because it has a wing and stuff like that. But Armsman, like, what I like about Armsman's holster is I can be like, hey, dude, like, this is exactly what I want, and he can like customize it how you want it. Do you want a single clip? Do you want 2 clips? Do you want the big clip? Do you want this? And his fitment is like kind of incredible.
Yeah, that's what you get when you go for the hand makers, man.
Yeah,
You know,
he said Telhart's been
from the
frozen for
Kaiden.
like 50 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Is he? His audio's good though, right? Wanted to try his hybrid setup. Yeah. Armsman does. He makes phenomenal holsters. I've actually been fortunate enough to like be there and watch him do his craft, and you know, he's got it down to a science. Vacuum forming and all that stuff. He's money with it. He even goes really far and polishes like all the sides. Like he is obsessed with making sure every edge of it is high polished.
That's how you
which
get quality.
is yeah. Yeah. I think I'll probably try one of those eventually as well, Kurt. The Fat Tack component looks pretty cool. I think like it's so hard. Like my Armsman holsters are like, if I'm running out quick and I just want to have a gun and I don't want to carry anything else, I run my Armsman holsters. And then like if I'm going out with the family and I'm like, I need my backup mag, I'm gonna throw a knife next to this, I'm running with the whole kit on me. Like then I've pretty much been wearing the Tier 1 concealed. But I have to say my Armsman sidecar holster for the 26X is right there with the Tier 1 concealed. The quality is I would even go so far to say Armsman holsters slightly beat the Tier 1s because he uses the thicker Kydex. And I've had stuff break on the freaking on the Tier 1s. I mean, they have lifetime warranty, so does Armsman, but like it's nice knowing that you have that slightly thicker Kydex.
It goes a long way when you're torquing it down inside the waistband, you know, when you twist and you tighten your belt and bend, you know, that adds extra pressure. And
It
that,
does.
that thinner '06 Kydex just doesn't take the pressure as well.
100%, 100%. And I guess tier 1 is like, we already got lifetime warranty. We'll just send them another one, and it must save them money or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the thicker Kydex is highly preferable. Rip Curl readiness. What's going on, Rip Curl? I don't know if you missed the what we're doing tonight, but put it back up. These 4 knives, handmade by Telhart Actual, are being sold for $150 each. And if you're interested in them, see if we can get Telhart to hold them up again.
Yeah, totally.
Telhart, that way you can see the size of them, because they don't look as large in the picture as they are. They're a good
Yeah,
chunk.
that's the double edge. Yeah, so I got the tape out. They're about 5.5 inches from tip to butt. So you get a good, 3-finger hold, and then you got a good 2.5 inch cutting edge.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of knives like that, and the lanyard makes such a difference because you can pinch it with that pinky.
Yeah, it helps.
Right now, you're frozen on like this with the pinky up.
Pinky's up.
Pinky's up. Yeah, Telhart's knives are sick.
And then that's the full serrated thing comes up. Yeah,
see
so
if I can remove you and then add back. There we go. Let's see if that does it. Yeah, that unfreezed you. You good
okay,
now.
good. Yeah, so that's the full serrated one. Single bevel, 80 CRV2, high carbon alloy steel. 3/32 inch stock. So they're thin, they're lightweight, ready to perform. Yeah, made by hand, whole way, from bar stock to finished knife. Yep.
OG Bobby, I don't know if you heard, but my next litter of puppies will be ready on May 31st, and I have 4 remaining. If you're interested, I know you wanted one last litter, dude, but this would be the last chance because Mama already has her spay appointment scheduled. It is not happening no more. 80 CRV2 steel is really great steel.
Yeah, it's great for pretty much any kind of knife, everyday carry, large chopper, hatchets, tomahawks, everything. The chrome and vanadium really help with the edge retention and the
it's a great knife for the front of your kit too. Like if you're looking for the right size knife for right there on the front where your kit is, that's a really great size because you can run bigger knives in the back of your battle belt or something like that, but like you don't want one too big in the front. That's a great size for that.
Yeah, and that's why it's got the soft loop instead of the DCC clip, so you can kind of have it under the shirt but still concealed.
Yeah, you can even slip it through the molly too.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Even humanoids. Take your time. Nomad. I keep your dogs apart until the appointment. Yeah, they say like her appointment is at 8 weeks. So the day the dogs are ready to go home, she can't get pregnant until like she has a period, which a period takes. Unfortunately, that next period comes faster than I thought, right? Like I was like, oh, like my wife didn't have a period for a long time after having a kid. You think like they're breastfeeding like a woman, right? No, they're fast, and their conception's fast. So I should have known. Because like a dog litter is like, I think 50 to 60 days, and they're born. So 2 months, and from pregnancy, and the dogs are born, and 2 months from then, they're freaking full-fledged going home. So. Where's G23? Fed Don, how much for a custom karambit?
Ooh, not really sure. Probably anywhere from like, well, it really depends on what kind of size you want. If you're serious about it, we'll get going. We'll get in touch. Size, shape. I'll send you some, rough sketches. You show me what you want, things like that. And probably a hand turkey. Send me like a hand turkey, so I know how big your hands are. That would be huge too.
Nice.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of custom stuff, but stepped away from that because people kept screwing me over. They'd order something, but then I'd make it, and then they'd boop disappear, and it's like, oh, thanks. Now I have this knife that's for a specific person, and nobody else is gonna want. Thanks for that.
Let's see. I'm checking a little bit. Little one just woke up. 10-4. OG Bobby, are you asking how much are the knives or how much are the dogs, or which one are you asking about how much? My dad's friend Vince made knives. I had a couple that he made for my dad that I inherited. Not sure if Vince is. We got a whole story here, McClune. Not sure he made for my dad that I inherited. Not sure if Vince's son still makes knives. Unfortunately, Vince also passed away. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
that's
hopefully
rough.
he's keeping the legacy alive. I mean, you got to buy a lot of stuff to make knives, so hopefully the son was involved in it.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. I would try to reach out to him. Dude, it's amazing. I probably said it many times on the live stream, but it's crazy how much our life is such a vapor, man. And I forget where it was. It was something about like this rich man. It's a story. It was like this rich man had everything in the world. He was filthy rich, and he met a young man. He was young and strong and in his peak. And he, the young man says to him, man, it would be amazing to have all those riches that you have. And the rich man says to him, I would give you all of these riches if I could trade you for your youth. And, it just goes to think it's a perspective on things, because life is fleeting from us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I heard another story too, and it's a little emotional, but it's so true. It's like you have this child and you fall in love with a baby. You love this baby, and then the baby's gone and you have a toddler in its place, and you fall in love with the toddler, and it's a totally different experience, right? And then the toddler goes away, and you have a little kid, and this little kid, you're in love with the little kid, your child. They ask you questions, and you have this whole different life experience with these different ages, but you never get to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a teenager, and then you have a young adult, and they say, and he basically says, and then one day all those little kids you fell in love with walk out the door at the same time. And it's just a perspective of how fleeting life is from us, man. Like from the moment you're born, you never can go back, and it's the sand is just going and going and going and going, and it's different through all different periods of the sand. But it's something that we should all always be super grateful for. Like I've been making sure I take time with my wife and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, things are really hard right now, and like but like this is like the time we should count our blessings and like pray and like be super grateful for all the other things that are so good in our life. Like let's not spend so much time bothering ourselves over this one thing that it'll get worked out. We'll fix it, but let's not overlook all the blessings and spend all of our time upset on this one thing. So yeah, it's just stuff to think about, stuff that's been crossing my mind, and figured I'd have my therapeutic moments where I share it with all of you.
Yeah, and these are the times. These are the exact times when faith is so important. It's not about when, you know, the sun is shining and you got a bunch of money in your pocket and everything's good and there's no stress. It's easy to have faith then, but it's also easy to let it slip and not understand how great you have it. But when the clouds roll in and the storm starts, it's like, I still have my faith, and I still know that everything is going to be taken care of for me. You know, I need to act, yes, but I also still need to have faith.
100%. And yeah, man, the only thing we bring into the kingdom of heaven with us is friends, loved ones, people we've brought to Christ, our children. Other than that, all the material things in the world will eventually flee from you, just like life does.
Yep.
And it's always nice to pass things on and leave stuff for other people, and you know, pass on a good legacy and foundation for your children. And but on an individual level, it's like, you know, we come in the same way we go out, which is with nothing. And
you can't take it with you.
Yeah. So crazy stuff. We could spend some time talking about some of the fun things like kit and gear and a scenario, because I know Telhart was really enjoying our scenario-based stuff.
Yeah, those are fun. War gaming is fun.
Well, just because the channel has, you know, a revamp. Oh man, I still have I'm gonna have to get a new background that doesn't say. Let's see if I can accomplish that right now. But scenario based, yeah, we'll do one. Link me in Dark Herd scenario, and he sends me the text. Link me in. Got you, Dark. EY79 NT. Okay, your LinkedIn. I think let's see if Delta Mike's coming. And yeah, I mean, so Telhart, have you been into like preparedness for a long time?
Oh yeah.
Or are you new to it?
Yeah. Geez. Well, I was in the Boy Scouts when I was younger, so
Nice.
that kind of laid a foundation of, like, you know, wilderness preparation, emergency prep, medicine. Yeah. So it's always been something I've kind of been into.
Hold on. How do I mute this so I'm not echoing? There we go. Okay. Okay, let me just turn the volume down there. That way I'm not distracted. All right. So, like, do you remember your first firearm that you ever got?
Oh yeah. First firearm, let's see, was Mossberg 500. Got that from my dad. First handgun was probably the handgun I got from also my dad when I started doing competition shooting, action pistol. Kimber Target. Stainless steel. Yeah, stainless steel, Kimber 45, adjustable sights.
Nice.
Stippled top of the slide. Then first handgun I ever bought was Glock 20.
10 milli.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I used to everyday carry that thing until I screwed my back up. Now it's all lightweight revolvers for me. Like, and my sometimes my Night Commander.
Sorry guys if I'm missing the chat. I was doing a little something over here. Boom.
Nice.
Yeah. So backdrop, the Nomad Remnant. So I mean, I don't know if I went into the name before on like why I chose Nomad Remnant. But basically, you guys have known I've been trying to move and relocate my family for a long time. Obviously, the Remnant is the group of believers that are there at the end of times, right? Or have been minimized down to a small group. And
Those left behind.
yeah, and like I said, the kind of country we live in, we feel like foreigners in our own land, which is one of the curses that happen to a people who stray from God in the book of Deuteronomy. Is you will feel like foreigners in your own land, and the foreigners will supersede you in your own land. Like these are the curses that God says happens to your country, and it's built in like sin, right? Like it is built in that when you make mistakes, the consequences follow, and that is the part of a free world creation that we have. But yeah, that's all part of the name. I love the revolvers. I have to eventually get a revolver. I don't know if it was you or Blade Nut. He posted that the Rhino.
That was Blade Nut. Dude, those things are cool.
They look so cool.
One. Like they no place around me has one, so I've never gotten my hands on one, and I don't want to order one in special and like hate it.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Because
if I come across one, I'll tell you. I'll be like, no, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'll be like, the weight's good. It's perfect.
Yeah, they look cool. They got the bottom barrel. A lot of them have like accessory rails, light rails. So it's a pretty cool modern revolver.
I can't lie, dude. If I had a revolver, I'd want a light and a red dot on it. Like I'm so modern. I've like only had striker fired pistols with flashlights and red dots pretty much since my inception. So I would want it. I mean, I could do without it. And I wouldn't want to spend all that money up front. But like if I was gonna do it, that's how I'd do it. Oh, my bad, guys. I haven't even been on the chat. Let's see what I missed. I don't know if that was you, Dark, trying to go, but I think you got the link. So whenever you're ready. So Telhart, how long did you carry Striker Fire Glock for?
Let's see. I pretty much let the 1911 take the back seat when I started getting into those Magpul DVDs, man. And it was like, oh, okay, Striker Fire's the way. Got to force myself to, dance around like Chris Costas and fucking Travis Haley. Sorry.
You're good.
But
shout out to Drew in Oregon, man. He also sent me a $25 Cash App, Drewski. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Lightning Scott said he makes knives out of lawnmower blades that resemble prison shanks.
Lawnmower blades are good steel, and they're flat already.
OG Bobby, I have 2 that are 1,200. Which is the pick of the litter male and the pick of the litter female, and the rest are 1,000. And I'll be honest with you, if you were gonna get a female, the pick of the litter female is really sick. So I would say for the extra $200, I would grab her. And if my wife didn't force me into keeping 2 dogs in the last litter, I'd probably be keeping her. But I'm like, dude, no, this is way too much. I told you this was going to be too much. I really only wanted to keep 1 from the last litter. And somehow my daughter and my wife outruled me on that. So now my life has got these dogs probably for 15 years. Mm-hmm. Just realized the alias DLD blonde moment. Oh, Dark Mavis. Yeah, the Dark Mavis. Not my prison shank, Nana. take nothing for granted. Absolutely, Garen. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Ask Telhart about the portable water still with the copper tube wrapped around the bottom of the steel shaker. Are you the one that made that?
I'm not the original dude, but yes, I have made quite a few of them. Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
So it's copper tube wrapped around a steel shaker. So you have a steel,
like a cocktail shaker. Yeah.
Yep. And is it filtering the water or just?
So it's to distill the water, or you could distill alcohol out of it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I probably have like 2 or 3 of them in my shed still.
Sick. I've been wanting to get, and I don't know if it would make that much of a difference, but I really want to get like all copper stuff to hold my water in.
It does make a difference.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's like that's an old Ayurvedic tradition.
Mm-hmm. They say it ionizes the water.
Yeah, it also
change the molecular makeup of it, basically.
Imparts little bits of copper into it too.
Nice. I've actually, I don't know if you heard me talk about the peptides, but I've been taking peptides because my buddy has a peptide company, and he wants me to be an affiliate. And I was really overweight, guys. Like I look at myself, like when we started having kids and like the stress and the not sleeping, and like I had lost a job around the time then too, which I'm sure you guys remember if you've been following the channel long enough. And like, so I was up to like 255, and I think I was even worse than that at one point, like 265. And I'm 6 foot, and like it wasn't all muscle 265, right? Like this was like dad growth. And I took peptides, and in 5.5 weeks, I dropped 25 pounds, a solid 25 pounds. Sometimes I fluctuate, and it's 30 pounds. Like in the mornings, it's a few pounds lighter.
Wow.
But I was taking copper, which I believe it's called like GHK or something, and it's good for hair, skin, nails, like recovery. I mean, I can't lie. The peptides that I took, like I feel really good. Like I feel much better, and it could just be that I lost the weight.
Yeah.
Like I feel tremendously better that I lost the weight. Like I used to do dips in high school. I was on the weightlifting team in high school. Like I started lifting weights in 8th grade. By 9th grade, I could bench 225. And by my senior year, I was probably doing 315. And
wow.
I could do dips with 345 plates between my legs in high school. And I was at a point where like I started going back to the gym. I'm like, wow, I'm overweight. I could not do a dip. And I'm like, this is outrageous, dude. And like I dropped the 25 pounds, and now I'm back doing like 4 sets of 6 dips. And I'm like, it just is like, I missed it. Like I can do it again. And it's like just this crazy feeling that like, I guess that extra 25 pounds it was killing me. I mean, and I think like some of the other stuff, like it helped with like a little bit of muscle development, the IGF-1 LR3, like some of them are like really good, but like you don't feel like you're taking anything. You just feel better taking the peptides. You're not like, I'm taking something. Like you don't feel like that. You feel totally normal, but better. That's all I could say. Like you feel like a little more energy. You wake up feeling lighter. When you are fasting, like you're like, I should eat, but like I don't feel like that monster that you become when you're like, I haven't eaten in hours. Like you just feel like I should eat, but like I don't really have to eat if I don't want to. And that alone is an amazing feeling. And like I when I stop taking them, I want to see, because my plan is not to take them forever. I just wanted to see how they work so I could tell people about them and like get the effects, like what effects did I get. And like I can see abs again, and like, I mean, everyone. I'm sure all you guys can like see it in my face, and like every part really of my body has just gotten. Now I think I'm freezing up, but like every part of my body is just feels thinner and better, and I was blessed. Like I didn't have to pay for the peptides. My friend, he gave them to me for free. I gave him some gun parts. I'm like, here's some gun stuff to cover the cost. And I was like, I know you want me to sell it. Like, so I need to educate myself on these things. And like, there's a lot of conspiracies out there about them, right? Like taking anything you don't know. My wife sending me all kinds of conspiracies about them. Like maybe they have stuff in them like the jab. And I'm like, gosh, that would be a nightmare because I sacrificed everything not to take a jab. Let me see. I think I'm freezing. Oh, that's why I'm freezing. Battery wasn't plugged in, and battery was getting low. Got you. So yeah, I'm better. Battery's plugged in, and I'm better. So yeah, I mean, there's thoughts out there like, well, now peptides are popular, but like I've talked to a lot of people, and they've actually been around for a very long time. They're not like anything new. They're just a better way of taking stuff than like popping a bunch of vitamins. Like I asked my wife, I'm like, do you actually know what's in these vitamins? Like where do they come from? And I'm like, she's like, yeah, but you don't prick them into your body fat. And I'm like, yeah, but that does, like, they could still have lead in them. They can, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but I highly doubt something makes you feel so much better that fast, and then it also later on is going to kill me. It's not like a drug or anything, right? Like these are amino acid chains to their protein chains that you're taking, chains of the protein that your body's been breaking down over time. You've not been eating, like chains that help increase your metabolism. Like the one that's in retatrutide it's a GLP-3. So like a lot of people are like, oh, isn't that similar to Ozempic? But it's similar, but it's completely different. It's a completely different amino acid chain. But what's in it is this thing called glucagon, which allows your body to process sugar the correct way, which is using sugar as energy and not stored fat. So you can actually eat and your body's producing it. And like there is especially, dude, if you're holding a lot of fat, there's a reason your body is holding on to it, right? Like you're storing, your body's not just fat because you're eating fat, right? You're eating a lot of different things and your body's storing those things as fat. And so like helping your body to process that stuff out, that stuff I had like I wouldn't say heartburn, but I had like a gassiness. I was so gassy. The farts, I can't lie, dude. Taking that, it was burning the stuff that was nasty grease inside of my body. And it for a while it felt like weird. I'm like, why am I so gassy? But then eventually the gassiness went away and like all the weight was gone too. So it's like they say you have so much stored like bile and feces and stuff in your body and waste. And then you think about the kind of diet we have, like you're not supposed to have that much in your body. No. Your body was not designed to hold that much waste.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it felt like it just regulated my body to how it felt when I was 21, you know?
Yeah. It sounds like it's putting your body back in balance. Rather than like augmenting your body like steroids do, you know?
Correct.
Like, you know, you have to know where you're getting this stuff from. It's just like with the vitamins. You can't just go get some baggie of vitamins from some dude in an alley and expect it to be what he says it is. Like, but if you know that the company you're getting it from vets them and like actually tells you what's in them, then you know what you're getting.
Yep. Yeah, all of them have like the paperwork, the test labs, the results, the purity, everything. So I mean, you can only do your due diligence on something so far, right? Like we're all limited, like unless you have a microscope yourself and you're gonna put it under there, which I actually think we should as into like
I have a microscope.
We should all have a microscope. Yeah, that's like, dude, that's what time it is. Like, it's time that we should all have microscopes and be our own scientists and our own doctors. That's
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, they've bred so much like untrustworthy actions through these last 5-10 years where it's like, well, I don't care if you're a doctor. You're just here to push me pills and lie to me. So your degree means nothing now. Like, congratulations. Yeah. Like,
not only that, but like, so if you became a doctor 20 years ago and majority of the stuff is new that you're giving to people, like, you have to do the same research I have to do on it to figure out whether it works or not. Except you're probably getting a check to
so
make
you
sure
don't
that
need to research, right? Exactly. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
We're not getting paid to just take and push pills.
Yeah. And then, I mean, our American health system, it's like, we're really good at surgeries, right? Because surgeries are highly profitable. So like, we're excellent. We're probably the best in the world at emergency surgeries, heart transplants. Like, we are the best at that, right? We have the highest level of tech when it comes to surgeries because A, if that surgery goes wrong, they could be sued. B, they can make a lot of money off the surgery. And C, they have the whole program before that helps create these surgeries that people might need, right? So like the first part there of preventative medicine is we're really bad at in America.
Yeah.
And
like
yeah, it's like non-existent. Like the education, like from what I hear, that they don't receive almost zero education on nutritional preventative medicine, right? And that's like, that is medicine. Like, let thy food be thy medicine is like one of the oldest sayings that there is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean,
and like parasites too. I mean, everywhere around the world, you go to the doctor to you know, they're screening you for parasites. Not here.
Nope.
Because they want you to have the effects of those parasites, so then you have to come in to get the medication and eventually get the surgery. Ridiculous.
And then think about this real quick while it's on my mind before I bring Dark in, but he's in. If you have a parasite in our culture and they don't test you for parasites, but then you get treatment for the effects of what's happening to your body, like, oh, you have bumps here, take this for the bumps. Oh, you have this, you feel like this, take this, right? But they're not treating what's causing that. There's no treatment or search for the cause of the issue. They just treat the side effects. They treat the effects that you're getting. Headache, take a headache pill. Pain, take a pain pill. Like never has any doctors, and this is why peptides have become more popular, because people have gotten more aware of how our like medical system treats us. And it's basically like, well, I mean, let's take a look at their amino acids. Let's take a look at their protein chains. Like, they don't look at that kind of stuff because
the building blocks of life.
They'd rather just treat you for the symptoms.
It's funny too, because like I have to speak low, so let me know if y'all can hear me.
I can't hear Dark.
No.
I
hear him. He sounds wonderful. Actually, sounds like he's like about
the
to narrate.
Soothing sounds of DLD. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So it's funny because like think of all the commercials that you see for, whatever pills and medications and stuff like that.
Remember, guys, I am not trying to lose my monetization status like I did very fast. So just be cognizant of.
Of course. So I'm just kidding. So all of these medications have like, if you're experiencing, self-forever sleep desire and stuff, they all have these side effects, right? So, you go to your doctor and you say, hey, doctor, I have this side effect. And they're like, try this, which is made for the removal of the side effect, which, by the way, has side effects. So then you get side effects from the other medication, and then you're like, "Hey, doc, the bumps are gone, but now I'm pooping out yellow liquid." And then they're like, "Ah, I know just the thing."
I have just a pill for you.
And then it's got other side effects, and it's like, "Hey, doc, man, I've been really depressed." "Ooh, don't you worry, I got something for you."
These ones are great.
Constantly, yeah.
It does seem like, especially when you put it that way, like they're constantly waiting for that depression side effect to come in and then get you on.
Bazinga, I got you.
My favorite side effect, depression.
The side
Now
effects
we
are
need
longer than the commercial.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's like, now we need to contact your pastor, your local gun shop, the ATF branch office in your area. We need to inform them that you can't be trusted with any tools of self-preservation, and then we also need to have your whatever. It's like, it's almost like that's the desire. They want people to be overweight, unhealthy, depressed, and they want you to be on some type of SSRI, mood stability medication, or mood stabilizing medication, benzodiazepines, all this stuff, because it is a forever cycle.
Mhm.
And you know what's crazy? For anyone that's ever been prescribed benzodiazepines, one of like the two things that you can die from just not
Quick,
taking anymore.
This is not medical advice. We are not doctors. This is just the opinion of one of the guests on our show. And now you may continue.
Yeah, no, they don't care about that. If the information's on your channel, that's it could be someone you disagree with. I actually got.
He has his own channel that you could totally go after.
Go after him. No, but the crazy thing, I remember when I saw the shift. There's like this hair floating around my mic. I remember when I saw this shift of all of a sudden, things like, we'll call them like Xannies and things like that. They used to be super expensive, and then one day to refill medication, it's like $2.04. I was like, that's remarkably affordable. Why do you want me to be able to afford this? But all that stuff is bad, man. It's no bueno.
No, and the doctors that are prescribing the pills are also the ones that are selling them to drug dealers.
Yes.
Remember that also.
Mm-hmm. And they're
Garrett
also,
says, first time I said cortisol around my doctor is like opening Pandora's box.
yeah,
they don't mention that one either.
Yeah, crazy how that
cortisol. I have a side effect for that.
You have to get another doctor.
Yeah. We got a side effect medication for that one. It's funny though, because they're like, oh, cortisol is something that naturally, is whatchamacallit, it's naturally in your body, right? It's like, yeah, but so is like the endorphin that dope.
So is
like
DMT.
Yeah, like, so what that just means it's okay. Like, fat is normal, right? What you were talking about with the dips, though, this is a really interesting thing, which I'll share something with you guys. There's, for like $32, you can get something that will totally change the way your blood flow works. And if you've heard about like chocolate favenols and things like that,
work.
Yes, it is crazy. And it's something that, like, I've been on this journey of what's been going on with my joints and tendons because of what happened from shooting back in the day, from just drawing, firing, reholstering, and all that. I thought I had just like tennis elbow. Everyone's like, oh, it's just tennis elbow. And that was an interesting conversation with a bunch of leftist extremists about, so what do? You play tennis? You golf? It's like,
yeah. You shouldn't be beating on those tennis balls. They have their own rights, and
I know they were knitted in their tennis ball mothers' wombs. But
well, if that was the case, they'd be okay with you beating on them and aborting them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I've gone down this whole rabbit hole of like understanding what your joints and tendons and the things that we're doing to our body, like with me having all this extra fat, which I've been working on myself, like from weight and my healthfulness and my diet and all that. Yeah, I've almost completely cut out sugar now, and man, I think what happens is your body shifts and changes so much when you store all of this extra fat that it may only be, you could throw on a 25-pound weight on both sides of you and do dips, right? But the moment that your entire body is holding that additional weight, and it's restricting blood flow and restricting the amount of nutrients that go to your organs and your blood, which is filtered through your lungs, and it's your whole body's affected. And it's just crazy to think of how much that little bit of weight, that little bit of difference impacts your whole, not only the way you look, your physique, but your health, the way you feel, the way your blood flows, the vitamins and nutrients. And I can't give away my fruit cup because I won't get all my vitamins.
No, it's true, man. The extra weight, it's rough. And I mean, I think as you get to a certain age, like a little bit extra weight is actually good. Because your body changes as you get into your elderly type years. Like sugar, actually.
Slow down, elderly, bro. Come on, man.
Well, that's like my specialty is elderly, but the elderly, like if you get too skinny when you're old, you're also more prone to like hip fractures and certain things. Yeah, so like. Yes, when you're not moving that much and you need just as much brain activity, obviously still the key to all things, even elderly, it's still going to be muscle mass, bone density. Like that is the peak at the top. But like having a little extra weight as you get older is not so bad. But when you're young, it's like to get to that age, it's hard to carry that kind of weight for decades and decades to make it into your 80s and 90s and still be able to move.
It literally kills you. It literally can kill you.
Drew mentioned the new bug that's going around.
The new Hunter. We're actually calling it the Hunter Killer Drone.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you guys know the deal. It's probably a thing, right? Like they've been working hard at putting things out there, but ultimately, have faith. Don't be afraid. Most sicknesses and diseases aren't normally spread the way that people claim they're spread. Most of them are not actually what they say they are. And I've gone into that kind of stuff of like, I forget the two competing theories at the very second, but it's like
Christianity and Catholicism.
No, those are actually at less odds than these two, but it's like viral versus something else, where like basically what a virus is like at the time where they were discovering viruses quote unquote, it's like, well, what are these things? Like, what is bacteria, right? Because there's good bacteria, there's bad bacteria. What the other one is called, it's environmental, but it's not called, it's called another.
Are you talking
name.
about viral and bacterial, or what are you referring to?
No, it's two different. I don't know if I can click off this without me freezing. And someone in the chat will probably
my charger.
10-4.
It's the Gene Hackman virus. That is correct. Gene Hackman and his wife, I believe, both of them passed away from for real.
From this one? Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Well, I seen someone who said it was a side effect of taking the hokey pokey.
Yeah.
If you do the hokey pokey, that it was listed under side effects of the hokey pokey. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not claiming that that's true.
Who knows what things, the stuff that's in you know, when you do the hokey pokey and
Yeah.
you turn yourself about, who knows what
That's-
things it could make.
That's what
Yeah.
it is, Lightning Scott. It came from the wet rat market. That's what they're saying this time. It's the wet rats on
Mhm.
cruise ships. Because
Yeah.
you know, cruise ships have the special wet rats in the
Yeah.
market, and sometimes they, I don't know, interact. You know, they're usually on the dance floor if you're on a cruise, and they can brush up against you.
Throw my Chihuahua on that cruise ship, and all of them are Dunzo. He's a hunter killer drone for real.
Red Dawn, you can lay hands on people when you're an elder. Yeah, I mean, I do want to be an elder one day. I mean, that would be a great honor, to live that long. I hope I'm kind of like Methuselah. That would be nice to be like Methuselah. If you guys go back, my first YouTube channel name, and I know I've had quite a few now. I'll probably be with Nomad Remnant for the remaining time. But my very first YouTube name was Japhet Methuselah. And like, there's maybe people out there who remember it. Probably not in our circles. I was more like scientific debates and prepping. There's prepping channels. Actually, Rip Curl Readiness might be the one in the chat that might remember Japhet Methuselah. Because I'm pretty sure I've been talking with Rip Curl as long as I've had that name. But yeah, I mean, it's Nomad now. No more RDR. Nice. Yes. Nomad.
Man, I don't know if I could ever not call you Red. Even my daughter knows you as Mr. Red Dawn, you know?
That's true. That's true.
This is the straw that I drink my water from. Just so
Copper?
y'all know.
Copper?
Yeah, pure copper. This is actually
That's a very long straw. Like, how far away is your bottle, dude?
so the thing is this was actually bought to wrap around a coil around the martini shaker.
The way it's bent, I'm like, is that a gas tube?
It is, yeah. This
For
is
like a
20
29-inch
it's a 20 millimeter cannon. But no, the funny thing is this was actually purchased to make one of the portable stills for like you could literally just throw it in a pack, right? It's like a little 32-ounce joint. And Telhart was the one that put me onto that, and he came on stream and actually made one on stream and like used it right then and there, and it was really cool.
I remember you telling me about it. I don't remember necessarily seeing it, but I know we've had the conversation multiple times about the portable still.
Yeah, it's
Ark was even curious of like, so how do we turn this into like a portable gasoline producer?
bro. Like, if you can do water and booze, you can do polymers to make pyrolysis to make gas. Like, you know, I will find a way. I'm gonna be the dude that's like basically Mad Max in it in the end. That is like hustling baggies of gasoline, you know, with making it from pyrolysis.
I don't know what baggies you got that hold gasoline, but have you been storing special plastic bags that it doesn't burn a hole right through?
Industrial.
Industrial.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys want to do a scenario?
All right, so check it out. So I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you want to.
If you got one. If you got one. I think last time I pretty much did them all. I didn't know if you had one from the last time.
I want to remind folks that you never know what someone is going through. All right. And I just want to throw this out there. There are a lot of people in our community that are just going to keep on trucking and, you know, push through because, you know, they got faith and, you know, they're taking their faith and their action to do whatever they can to take care of their families. But a lot of people in our community right now are struggling. And the fact that there's great people like Telhart and like Drewski and Kurd and all the people in our community that have just reached out to help or contributed or just, you know, and there's so many more. I couldn't even begin to name them all, but if you guys could help support by getting one or some of the knives, it would be a huge help for Frederick Donegan, formerly Frederick Donegan, now.
Ooh, you got to come up with a new name that sounds like Nomad Remnant.
Yeah, Bromad. Bromad.
Bro glad.
I'll come up with something. Yeah, Nomad resident.
Bro glad Remington.
I like Nomad resident because it's an oxymoron. But yeah, if you guys could, for real, it would mean a lot. And you know, when you're looking at the pictures of the knives, you need to know that if you think they look cool in the picture, once you literally get them in your hand, it is something that like you can't. This is all American 80CR V2 steel, hand built, hammered in America, torched in America, grinded in America, sharpened in America, with Kydex made in America, riveted in America. Like this is, you're not gonna find stuff like this. And actually, Telhart is drastically underselling, you know, like what he could be charging for his knives. So most of these American-made knives are in the $300 to $400 range. So yeah, if you guys could support the homie, it would mean a lot because like I said, a hand that's open to give is open to receive. So if I help support Red Dawn getting helped, then, you know, in theory, you know, the world would then give back to me. And I'm not giving to give, right? I'm just saying, like, you know, this is why we all jump in to support each other regardless of our circumstances. So,
and if you joined a little late, kind of what he's talking about is Telhart has handcrafted these knives. Telhart actually makes knives. That's what he does.
mm-hmm.
And you know, he heard about me losing my job last month and then losing my second job that I had arranged from losing my first job, and that ended up kind of just falling apart, and the agreement that I had with someone was not honored. And so he wanted to donate these knives to helping me out and sell them, and for the proceeds to go to me covering my bills. So if you weren't here during that time, then these are the blades.
This is a different one. Yeah, this is a different one, but just showing you the level of quality and craftsmanship. Like, look at those lines and the grips there, man. Like, my man puts like just a crazy level of craftsmanship into
those are similar on the back end, those rivets to the ones that are on there. Man, those are sick. He does some nice thick.
The ones that he's got up there, though, I mean, are like the perfect little, you know, clinch pick size, tiny little guys that you could just take out and just jailhouse waka waka waka.
That's them right there. It's a perfect size too for the front of your battle belt, dude. Especially with that little clip.
Mm-hmm.
With the full serrated, very thin, very lightweight.
I like that serrated one.
Yeah, you like the full serrated. Yeah, you don't have to worry about sharpening them.
Yeah, you just use it to tear and rip.
This is the prototype keeper that I made for myself. I mean, I literally hammered this thing like with an actual like engineer's hammer, like 40 or 50 times,
dude,
you know, during the use test. I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think sick.
Made to last.
Oh yeah, they will outlast you.
That's the goal. Yeah, I mean, I try to make heirloom quality stuff.
Mm-hmm. And can I also add that when you get something from him, he also usually throws in cool things like heirloom seeds, which I actually did. I get the strawberries from you? I don't know if I no, I got spinach from you and
Yeah, I
pocket.
give you spinach. Yeah, and pocket constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, some people throw in candy. I don't. I like throw in like heirloom seeds or like little like
It's the best.
cross pendants or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stuff that you need, not
Yeah.
stuff that. When I get a package with
Not
candy in
poison.
it, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I toss it right in the trash.
Yes, I do the same thing. I was like, thanks. Now I have to throw this away.
Literally, like, let's be honest here. Throw a 1 in the chat. Who eats male candy? No one eats
Don't.
male candy.
Don't do it. You have no idea like how old that is or like what's in there. Just
Plus,
don't.
like, even if it was totally sealed and totally fine, even just the temperature differences that stuff goes through, like, I wouldn't. I don't want anything to do with that.
It's poison.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure
do it.
you could sprinkle like certain hard candies outside, and they will never be touched by an ant. I've actually seen a guy. He took a McDonald's burger, similar, and literally took the patty and just left it on the lawn for I think like a year, and not one creature ate it.
Yeah.
Nothing. The bugs won't
Here's
even.
the funny
eat it.
thing, if you put out a whole thing, they will go after it. If you literally take the patty, even if you were to rinse it off with water, throw it outside, they will not even like realize that it is food, which
It
means
doesn't
it's
smell
not
like meat.
sustainment. Yes, because it doesn't smell like all the other stuff. But if it has ketchup, mustard, pickles, and they will go after it. But
Well,
it's
there
crazy.
was another guy too. He had a burger in a Ziploc bag for years.
Yeah, like 40,
Yeah.
30 years. Yeah, I saw
And
that one.
It grew zero mold. Zero.
Yeah. Dude, did I tell y'all I had to draw my gun the night before last?
No.
No.
Dude. Okay.
What?
So here I was. All right, no, but I'll tell you guys two things.
Did your
One-
dog scare you again while you were half asleep?
No. But I was with my dog. So two things. One, I had a proud daughter moment, right? Tonight. But the night before last, I had to draw my gun. And notice if there are any, law enforcement listening, I had to draw my gun. First off, my daughter and I were out. We had to walk the dog really quickly. When he needs to go out, he comes up and he like paws our legs. Right, that's his sign, like saying, "I need to go out right now." So she's already like dressed in pajamas, and we're like, "All right, we need to go to bed." But I'm like, "Okay, we need to take the dog out real quick." So I threw one of my hoodies on her, so it's like draping down to like her knees, right? And we go outside and we're walking, and it's just starting to get dark, and we're walking back home, and we see this guy, and he's got like a hoodie up, and it's he just looks sketchy. Okay, never seen him in the neighborhood before, and we're in a really nice area, but like there are a couple surrounding places where you can definitely tell like there's some drug activity and stuff like that, which I mean, it's the suburbs, all that stuff is behind closed doors. And so he's coming back like from like two complexes over where there's like apartments and stuff, and he cuts across the road to be like beeline it towards us. And my daughter's just like staring at him like this, and I'm like, "Sweetie," I was like, "Don't stare," right? And she's just kind of like looking, and then I look at him. I'm sitting there with the dog, and of course, I'm like, I'm not tripping. Like, what does he really want to do, right? And then he walks up, and I was like, I did the old, this is how you test people. Hello, right? Hit him with like the cheery like hello. And he just looked at me and like just gave me this look of like nothingness, and then walked like 6 to 8 feet in front of us and kept going. And she was like, "He's walking towards our house." I was like, "Sweetie, it's okay." And then after he walked away, and he was just passing through, but the dude was just looked a little sketchy, not friendly, whatever, right? The only reason I'm telling the story is because of this. My daughter turned around to me and she was like, "I get it." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "The reason you always carry your gun is because you always talk about like, if it was left in your car, left in the house, if something were to have happened right then, you wouldn't have been able to get to the house or get to the car. So you always keeping it on you is like, because, you know, she bumps into it. We'll be laying in the bed watching a movie and she'll be like, smack, and, you know, be like, ow. So like, I feel like it's like a pain for her, or like a, you know, like a.
You could set it next to the bed when you're in the bed.
No,
You could.
absolutely not. It's on me. It is, man.
Well, I'm about to send you a Belgian Malinois.
I mean, I got a Chihuahua. I'm good, but like, I was so proud of her to realize that, like, that is why you are so committed to, because if something happened here, we would have been at his mercy. And I was like, yes, like, thank you. Like, fine. It also took years and years and years and years of me conditioning her of like, that's why daddy's got this. That's why daddy got that. So anyway, so yeah, that's a little story for you there.
So when did you draw the gun?
Oh yeah, so I drew my the night before last. I went outside and
different situation, totally.
Totally different situation.
Okay.
My neighbor was playing the music too loud. I'm just kidding. No, so I went out and I was walking the dog, and I hear this. When you hear an animal that is like,
I'm like waiting for the guy to turn around.
Yeah,
like,
right?
we're waiting. We're
Did
waiting.
he go into the house?
anticipation.
Like, what?
no, he just kept it moving. Yeah, my bad. I was in my head. It's like two different scenarios, right? But like, sorry about that. That was not the
directly linked.
situation where I had to drop. Bro, Red Dawn, I would have hit you up right away. I would have called y'all like, dude, you guess what just happened? But no, this was different. If you've ever heard an animal dying, I mean, they may. So like, if you're trying to like call coyotes and things like that, like, you know, the little like sound you make with your mouth. If you cup your hand and like open it, just like put your pinky out and you go like, that's like, that mimics the sound of like a small animal dying, and you can actually call like coyotes, right? That is what like small animals like rabbits and things sound like when they're dying, right? Well, I started to hear this, and then I heard a bunch of like birds like leaving this bush, and I heard like a bunch of baby birds, and I heard this small animal like making the I'm on my way out noises, and I'm like, yo, something is sounding like human sized in the bushes, right? Is there some like crazed man that's like, you know, destroying animals in there? Bro, this freaking thing, if at first I thought it was a fox, and then I saw it walk out, and its freaking arms, this thing was so tall, it was a freaking coyote. And I'm walking my little dog, and my dog is like this little 10-11 pound dog is trying to act tough. And I'm like, okay, so first I pull out the goon beam, and I'm like, sweep, and I put the flashlight on it, and I see it come out, and it's face down into the ground, just going to town on something that's, you know, gurgling, and so he killed something, right? And it sounded like he may have been eating the like baby birds and bird eggs or whatever in there too. And anyway, so as I walk closer, my dog starts barking. He finally sees it, like, and hears us, and like we get his attention, and he looks up, and dude starts doing the tigress like shoulder walking towards us, bro. Now, in my experience, if a coyote sees you, even if it's eating, it'll be like, pew, and then like dip out, right? This thing was literally starting to come towards us, and I put the goon beam on, and I was like, yo, this thing might be like rabbit or something, like it's coming towards us, right? So I literally, I had my phone in my hand, I had the goon beam in my hand, I had the leash, man. I'm like, just drop everything, and then I grab my gun, turn the goon beam off, grab my gun, turn the TLR7 on, and I literally had the gun right on it, big old hiney front sight, right smack on its noggin, and then it kept walking towards us down the hill, me and my dog. And I don't know what made me do this, but I was like, stop, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. And I yelled at it, and then it was like, it like tightened up real quick, and then pew, it pieced out. And then I turned around and noticed that I was in front of like 4 houses that all had Ring cameras on me. So I know my neighbors got me.
Something might go viral posting, man, almost it'd be dark.
It could. Well, so I don't know if it like
Well, you should make yourself big and scary,
Yeah.
For
That-
sure. Yeah.
That
yeah.
threatens a lot of like smaller animals and stuff.
My issue was that, like, if I were to continue moving like laterally where I was, then I would have positioned myself behind a car, because I would have been walking right past a car, which he could have, if he was running, could have cleared that distance in like a second flat. And I didn't want to turn my back to it either. So, because like my daughter was like, "Well, you were scared for our dog." I was like, "No, that's property. I was scared for me for legal reasons." And then, I just, for real, I thought it was gonna like start charging. So I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna have to fill this thing up with semi-precious metals." But it ended up dipping out. I wanted to go there the next day, but I didn't go check it out.
Man, you had me for a loop, dude. This is why you're so good at telling stories. Like, it started with that you had to draw your gun. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Then we got the story of this like super sketchy dude about to approach you and your daughter. And
He's a
so then it ended up just being a coyote who wanted to eat your chihuahua.
Yeah, but see, like, okay, so imagine how boring it would have been if I was
No,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. You made it awesome. You made it awesome.
most people would be like, "Oh, dude, I had to draw my gun on a coyote." Be like, "Oh, really? What happened?" I drew my gun on a coyote. It's like, you can. I don't know. I don't like. I'm not trying to tell the story to make it all like cinematic or whatever. I'm just, in my mind, I'm replaying it as to like what happened. The other dude was probably just like, "Why are these weird people saying hello to me?" Right? That was just a different situation that happened tonight. This happened like Wednesday night.
He knew that coyote.
Yeah, I think he left it there. He dropped it off there.
Mhm.
Armsman, or the Watchman, my bad, different man. I have a Chihuahua die because my pit bull bit him on the head, and they grew up together many years. It really sucked. Yeah,
Man.
that sucks, bro. And I don't bash, like, my wife kind of got me on this thing of like how like she was on a kick for a long time of just sending me videos of pit bulls that do like just. Sometimes that snap is right on a pit bull. And I know people have pit bulls and love pit bulls, but like overall, bro, I have a 90-pound Belgian Malinois that could literally go into the heart of a war zone and take commands, have a brain, be thoughtful. And he has a Chihuahua that was here when I brought him home, right? My Chihuahua was 12 years old. He's a bad buster. Jack, what you doing? He's sleeping right there. This little joker right here is he's the baddest Chihuahua that has ever lived.
Chihuahua Husky mix.
No, that my mom has that one because I have
That's a
too many
weird
dogs.
mix.
That's a Chihuahua Jack Russell.
Oh,
Okay,
that makes more sense.
that joker was absolutely the fastest dog I've ever seen in my life in his heyday. Even now at 12 years old, he's pretty damn fast. But when he was in his prime, he also could jump shoulder height, like he could fly up into your arms, and he's the boss around here. My 90-pound Malinois, the only person he'll take shit from is that little Jack Russell, and he's smart enough to know. He's cute, man. He's smart enough to know, like, I would kill this dog at all times. Like, when he starts to get bothered by him, he'll put his paw on him, and bro, he's pushed him to the edge. I've watched this Chihuahua bite his neck, bite his chest, biting him, and he's just kind of like, God, I can't believe I put up with this little shit. But I'm telling you, dude, like, pit bulls it's just a different kind of breed, man. That you got to be so careful with pit bulls, because that lockjaw, and the one thing I would say too, after watching my female Belgian Malinois have puppies, and I've been told, like, some people say that I should keep these dogs until 12 weeks, but I'll be honest with you, 12-week-old Ada Belgians in my house it's rough, right? And I can keep them a little longer. I kept probably the longest one last time 11 weeks, but they learn as puppies when they're with their parents and mother. This is why I tell people, like, having papers on a dog is not everything. Okay, it's actually not. It doesn't tell you about how this dog's raised. But when you have the father and mother around a litter, they learn this social behavior
Yeah.
from both of them. And the mother, she has, and what they do is the longer they're together, they learn what's called bite control, right? So when they play and their puppies are biting each other, they learn like levels of this level hurts my brother and sister. This level is playing. This level is like, I want to get your attention. Like, and they have this bite control where like, I don't know how much pit bulls have of bite control since they have lockjaw.
It's either all the way off or all the way on. And it's funny because Watchman just said the brindle pit bulls are more unpredictable. I had a brindle pit bull that was like 78, like almost 80 pounds. And we actually were mandated by the state to put him down because he, man, with our family, he was like a golden retriever, bro. Like he was just the most sweet, kind, little like Labrador like dog in the world. And then we brought him outside. Peace, broski. When we brought him outside, man, I did not know enough about, socially, like bringing the dog around other dogs, bringing the dog around kids, other people, children. And he bit multiple people. And one of them, he bit the sole of this kid's shoe. So it didn't actually hurt him, but it ended up getting reported. And then he bit another, he chased after a dude on a moped, and he bit another guy like right in his ribs, and he took a chunk out of him with his front teeth. And like he asked, he was like, "Oh, you're such a cute dog. Can I pet him?" And then literally as my sister was holding him and she was like, "No, do not pet him." He literally ran up to pet him. And my dog was like, "Danger." And she tugged him back in time. Cause dude, those dogs, bro.
And neither one of those things are like exclusive. Like I've had, I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Mals are the same way. Like you don't approach a mal that you don't know, especially a male.
Yeah.
Any male shepherds are like that. Like any
you gotta let them smell you, let them get to know you, and let them come to you. And people don't know what to look for bite cues, right? Like when a dog turns their face to the side and they're just looking straight, it's like, bro, you have no idea. You're about to get lit up, dude.
Horses actually do the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
There's horses that they will bite a chunk out of your arm.
Oh, dude, they're the power
to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
you realize you grew the hair out so much, Telhart.
Oh yeah, man. It's like it's tied up because I was working on gun stuff. But yeah, it goes down to like almost my belly button now. It's nuts.
Dang, that's crazy. Mine's past my shoulders now, which
I wanted to see if I could unfreeze them. It works to like bring them down and bring them back up.
Mine's down like basically at the like below the base of my neck, like down to my shoulders almost. But it's interesting. It's like I kind of want to cut it because of convenience, and I guess there is technically some scripture about men keeping their hair short. But then also, I kind of feel like somehow spiritually connected to Samson in a way too.
He was that long hair, man.
Yeah, I know. I just like I don't expect my daughter to wear head coverings in church either. So it's like
I may have beaten my friends over with some laws privately. I don't do it publicly in front of people, but I may have talked to them about something.
It's different having conversations about it versus saying like, "Well, you don't do
better.
You don't do it." Yeah, like it's not what it is. Like, honestly,
I can't get my wife to do it, bro. I ain't trying to get strangers to do it.
Yeah, no. I'll keep it real.
Friends.
I'll tell you what stopped me cursing, but let me put my dog back down. Hang
on. There is something in the Bible. I'm actually forgetting what it's called, but it is about not cutting your hair. It's actually called when you grow your hair out. It's actually called, and this is why some people think Jesus had long hair, because you can go look up in the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verses 1 through 21. There's something called a Nazarite vow of the Nazarenes, right? Which Jesus was from Nazareth, right? The Nazarite vow is when a man decides voluntarily to not cut his hair, separates themselves to God for a specific time period. The key rule is that no razor shall touch his head. So it's actually a vow of a Nazarite to grow their hair out, and that is where Jesus even gets.
That's a commitment that you make to God, though. It's
correct.
It's not like, it's not like
long hair, dude. It looks so good.
It's not like all men between these ages must not allow a razor to cut their hair.
It's a vow that one makes for a time period. But I just figured I'd mention it because I don't know. I like to drop weird amounts of scripture that are in my head that I
I would encourage anyone out there that maybe feels convicted over like the foul language that they may use, and this is not like I still struggle with using foul language in my head, like silently in my head, and every now and then, like I got pissed off the other day and I said something I shouldn't, but I'll tell you what it was, man. When you're in a community with followers of Christ that care about you, they'll find very creative ways to just casually mention to you, like, hey, have you thought about this? What do have you noticed this? What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever felt convicted about this? And they're just asking questions, right? But really what they're doing is they're exposing something within you where it's like, we know when we're doing things that we shouldn't. And y'all know my mouth, man. I was so foul with my language, and it would be every few words were F's and S's and just everything. And I got a phone call from someone after a show. It was right after a show, and after I'm spewing all these foul curse words, I'm like, Christ is king, get right with God, build a close relationship with Christ, you know what I mean? And I do my sign off, and I finish the show, and they call me and they were like, hey man, great show. It's like, thanks. He's like, hey, just out of curiosity, why do you choose to use language like that? And I was like what? He's like, well, the foul language, like the F-bombs and things like that. I was like, it's a habit. It's just something that I kind of do, and he's like, okay, you're a follower of Christ. Yes. I was like, yeah. He said, do you think if Christ were here right now in 2026, that, of course, he's a living God, and, he is. But if Christ were here in human form in 2026, do you think that he would choose to use those words? And I was like, oof, no. And I was like, no. And then I looked up the scripture about using foul language. And actually, Peter, when he denied Christ 3 times, he, on the 3rd time, intentionally used a curse word to show that he was not, to separate himself from Christ. There's also a whole bunch of other scripture about getting the filth out your mouth, what foul language, and then of course what comes out of your mouth is more important than what goes into your mouth for sustainment, but here's the other thing. Even from a secular point of view, I would encourage you guys out there, if you've ever even felt just gently convicted about curse words, just go look up the definition of curse words. Okay. It's like
they're anagrams, actually.
Well,
you know that?
Yes, they are. You and I've talked about that. But even
like the F word doesn't just mean that. It's an anagram for, I mean, I can say it, but it actually means fornication under carnal knowledge.
Yeah.
It means to absolutely disobey God on purpose.
Yeah.
That is like what the F word means. It is one. When I heard that for the first time, I'm like, dude, that is one of the most wretched words that you could ever say.
It is.
Claim that upon your own tongue.
That's like basically, like we were talking about blaspheming of the Holy Spirit, right? Like that is that, right? But even the secular outlook of it is, it's like to intentionally and vulgarly display negativity, pessimistic, hurt feelings, like it's like every single thing
pain, negative.
yeah, yeah, literally. And I was like,
I would say majority of the time, and human beings, I think we probably know this as an instinct, but a lot of it comes from pain. It comes from an internal pain of you trying to express out.
Good night, Drewski.
For sure. Good night, Drewski. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the Cash App. You are the man.
Love you, bro.
For the heat wave. I've been seeing weird stuff about weather. I don't know about you guys. Like I saw a thing where it was like, and I don't know what she was in. She was actually talking about stuff, but it was like 30 degrees one day, 70 degrees another day. Like the fluctuations in some parts of our country right now when it comes to weather. Like I can't lie, Florida, dude, our April was like cool, which is like it was not getting hot. We were having like gorgeous, cool days. And I'm like, this is so weird because, I've been here my whole life. So I really I understand the weather pattern. And I can tell when it's like, okay, it takes a little bit longer to get cold. Then it gets hyper cold on 3 to 4 nights a year, like so cold that it kills my crops. Like if I have stuff outside and it's not covered and it's not tended to that night, it's dead.
It's almost like the weather's like being controlled.
Yeah, I mean, I think weather control is a thing. It's like, but I can never.
No, it 100% is. I was being facetious.
No, I mean, they're obviously manipulating the weather. But then you heard all this stuff like, oh, I haven't seen any of the chemtrails since we've been at war with Iran and Trump has been stopping it. And, Florida is like, oh, we banned chemtrails. We no longer have chemtrails. And then you still see them from time to time. And it's like, I bet you they're banning chemtrails because they were like, hey, guys, we got this new one out. They don't even see it anyway. Just say you banned it.
Yeah. Dude, chemtrails are only visible when the altitude is at a certain level where they freeze. That's all it is. Otherwise, chemtrails are almost completely invisible to the naked eye. And I live near an airport. They have not banned chemtrails in Virginia. I'll tell you that.
Wait. Say that again. You're saying that you can only see them because they freeze?
Yes. So
on the super long ones? Not contrails, not condensation trails, but chemtrails.
No, I'm saying chemical. So, okay, it is an altitude thing, and it sounds like Matt Telhart knows as well. It's once. So, okay, let me back this up even a little bit more. All planes, always, all the time, are letting chemicals.
Yes, for
right?
Sure.
Yeah, and all of their fuel. Fuel, it has compounds in it that do impact the weather, from aluminum, magnesium, and copper and all that stuff. Now, in addition to that, they're using things like HAARP and radio waves and signals and yada yada. But
everything on this show is speculation and for entertainment purposes only, because he's saying a lot of times, always, every time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if you consider it, and this is just an academic exercise, right?
Yeah.
It's an academic exercise of studying for school, because college, we're in college. Anyway, so
all right, real quick, so I can get so you can cover at least my understanding.
Yeah.
From what I've understood was contrails, condensation trails, which have some stuff in it, are more of that temperature change, and they also disappear really quickly. But the really long ones are more like they're basically like putting and they turn into a whole cloud.
Yeah.
As they dissipate, they turn into a whole cloud, and
there's ones that they're up there the whole day, and then like you'll see 4 or 5 of them all merging into like a cloud cover together for the rest.
Yeah, that's moisture sticking to the little things.
Yeah,
for that artificial cloud. The contrail you'll see directly behind the plane, and not farther.
Yeah. Whereas like the chemtrail, well, I guess even that word is kind of bad. I'm sorry. I know Red Dawn's trying to get monetization taken care of, but the chemical,
Trend tails.
yeah,
Trans tails.
Chemical deposits from aerial objects.
yeah,
Aerosol aerial injections.
The fuel deposits that we see from airplanes passing overhead, the reason that they become so much visible way up in the air and you see them like spread out, but they also become lighter as they spread out, it is because they are frozen because of the altitude. That's the only reason they're that visible. Because
I guess my only question is like, I have literally seen two planes in the air that are seemingly very close to the same altitude, give or take hundreds of feet, right?
Mhm.
That one has just a chemtrail coming out and the other one has a giant one coming out. And I'm like, I thought, because I've also seen the thing where like they literally hit that button on like the weather type ones, and it's like button.
Well, it could be between 100 or 200 feet. It could be a 50-degree difference between the the altitude. So who knows? Maybe it appears much closer, but from
wet plane pussy.
yeah, that. I can never, hearing the word bussy, it bothers me so much. It just, that word itself, it
just sounds a lot like bushy.
Yeah, but it's not. It's more okay. I mean, you know what it is, right?
I mean, obviously.
Okay, I'm just making sure. It's like jail talk, like it's a wet beehole puss. Oh man! All right,
come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I said wet beehole.
Monetization, dog.
I know. It's all about the money. Teasation. We know we got to get the Tiberius coins for Red Dawn's channel.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I get monetized and we do channel memberships, I may never do a public stream ever again.
I can't wait till you start earning the $17 a month. It's crazy, dude. You won't believe it,
bro. Right now, $17 a month is hitting.
All right,
just 1 gallon of gas.
For real.
It's at least 3 half gallons of whole A2 milk, and a snack for the kids. That's like lasts a whole week. Just that bag of snacks for the kids and the 3 half gallons of whole A2 milk,
or at least a PMAG filled with 5.56. I'll take that all. All right, you want to do one which
scenario,
and then I got to bounce.
All right, you want me to give it, or you want to come up with one?
Come up with one that is like morally challenging, like the one with the kids.
Okay.
Man, that was really tough, dude. It's so sad that almost all of the ones that we do always end up in schwack them. Just schwack all of them. It's like yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of it is because like it's so hard to give hours of like to go for a very long time to give a detailed description that gives you enough information that schwacking them is not the best idea.
Yeah.
For a war game scenario, more challenging.
Just remember, people are a resource.
Okay.
Matt, what's while he's pulling that up, what's some scripture that's been hitting close to your heart recently? Recently, whatever.
Is he frozen? Hold on. Pull down.
There he is.
Recently I've just been like going back to the beginning, man, back to Genesis and starting to read the whole thing all over again, man.
That's important. I did the same thing not too long ago.
Tell her I'll send you a couple really interesting. Have you ever watched Blurry Creatures?
Illyri Creatures. No, I don't think so.
Oh, dude, they have a really cool channel.
Yeah.
Christian guys. They dive into a bunch of different topics, but they have a really cool podcast together. And there was one episode they had on this guy who was like a specialist in pre-Adamite societies, like
cool.
pre-Adamite time, and he was just digging into scripture, talking about why he thinks his theory is possible. And it was just really cool because it is vague and like also talks about in the book of Job. It says, "Yo, Frag Out Design Studios. I ate half my fortune in my fortune cookies. Mission failed." Yo, Frag Out. I don't know if you've seen the Frag Out Designs Glock 19 that was in the Magwell video with the Marconi Magwell.
Marconi.
But yeah, just had Frag Out Designs Glock featured in the last video I posted.
If I could show it, I got the Frag Out AR right here. It's not going to be shown tonight, though.
Yeah. This is tell and tell on YouTube. No show and tell.
Yes. Let me describe the curvature of the hand-drawn scrolling. Sorry, I was like, what's the skibbity toilet? What is it?
Ooh, a morally difficult war game scenario that forces people to confront ethics via leadership. Okay. Combat fantasy could look something like this. All right. You ready?
I think so.
A long-term grid down collapse after a regional disaster. So
regional. Okay.
Regional. So let's say your area, I don't know. I'm guessing nukes, right? If it's regional nukes, you got the whole southwest or northeast or something that it's pretty bad.
So part of the country could be totally fine and operating as normal. Maybe.
If any part of our country is operating normally.
Yeah, I mean, normal.
Normal. $7 a gasoline. $7.
Yeah. Removing God from.
Wait. The new normal.
Okay, 2030 normal. Okay.
2030
New and
normal.
improved. Classic flavor. New normal.
There you go.
Your group of 20 people has secured a rural compound with limited food, medicine, and ammunition. Communication with the outside world is gone. Winter is approaching. Your group has already turned away several desperate adults in previous weeks after theft attempts and one violent encounter. Probably wasn't with a coyote either.
I guess.
The situation at dusk, your perimeter team spots 6 to 8 children approaching the outer gate alone.
Schwack 'em.
Age ranges 8 to 15 years old. Some are crying, some are carrying bags. One appears injured. Something feels wrong. They move with unusual coordination. One older team keeps scanning rooftops and defensive positions. Thermal optics later show at least 3 hidden adult heat signatures in the tree line several hundred yards behind them. The group now has decided, are the children genuinely abandoned and being used by the adults? Are they knowingly part of a bait tactic? If armed adults rush the compound after the gates opened, what are your rules? If one of the children suddenly produces a weapon, does age change your response? In my opinion, no.
Anyone can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the only change in response would be like, is this person so small and so feeble that you can just snatch it out of their hand?
Yeah, or
And
maybe
not
like bird shot him in the leg or something. Who knows?
Is refusing them entry morally defensible if they may freeze or starve overnight? Okay.
In my studies, I've learned that it does take more than one night to
to freeze and starve.
Yes. But we can go with that.
3 weeks, buddy. 3 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
giving you 2 weeks and 6 days. See how you're doing.
Rules of threes. That'll
right.
tell you, if they are being provided for, if they have sustenance from some other resource, if they're like, oh, I'm so hungry, but they're there for 4 weeks.
All right, option 2. All right, so I mean, I would say you could kind of address that situation. So you're, what would your first thought process be of these children, 3 adult signatures? How would you handle a situation like that? Would you just ignore it until they come to the gates and be like, sorry?
They got to know, but who wants to start? Telhard, you want to start? Red Dawn, or I'm sorry, Nomadic, the Revenant. I'm just kidding. The Revenant comes to mind, but Nomadic NR. Are we gonna call you NR now?
I don't know. You can call me Nomad, Remy, Red Nomad, Red, just Red instead of like the whole like
I think
Red, Mr. Red Dawn Readiness, Mr.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to be as short as humanly possible.
Red.
Yeah, Red.
We'll call you Red.
Yeah, I'm good with Red.
All right, who wants to start?
Let me see if Telhart might be frozen. Let's see if I can bring him back. Bring him back. There he is.
All right, I'm back. Okay.
There he is.
All right. I guess I'll start it off. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna wait till they approach the gate. That way we can see what if anything those thermal signatures change or more appear. But yeah, I'm telling everybody on the top of the gate, keep an eye on those thermal signatures. Don't ignore the kids. We don't know what they're carrying.
Mm-hmm.
They could either, they could either be totally being used, or they could have been escaped, and those thermals are coming back to get the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's a waiting game for me. I need more information.
I agree with you.
Very good points. Yeah, and that's kind of one of the difficult things. It's like, okay, so we know that when people are already such terrible dirtbags, when things are totally fine, right? So when things fall to pieces and their actions or inactions result directly in them either dying of thirst or starving to death, that you're absolutely going to be dealing with people that are using women and children against you, right? So, I mean, I do think that the oldest trick in the book is taking something that seems defenseless and turning the tables on you to where it's like, oh, they have a C Camp 32 in their sock, so which that's a handgun for people out there that don't know. Which is kind of like the little 32 North American arms, those kind of things. They're butt guns.
Yeah,
but
little hold top piece.
Yes. So, I mean, I think, like you said, intel at that point is the number one most important thing. I do think, though, like my first thought when you were starting to say, there are children, that are coming within whatever distance of your perimeter. I forgot. I don't think it was specifically said, but once they're noticeable, right? My first thought was, are they being controlled? Are they being used against their will? Or are they, escaped? And if they are escaped, who's coming to get them? Because people are a resource, right? So until we know those things, you can't take too much action. But I think the most important things is that you make them aware of, we know you are here. And I think it's a question of, if we see those thermal signatures in the distance that appear to be adult size thermal signatures, then do we let them know that we see those thermal signatures, or do we keep that information in our back pocket? But whatever we choose to do at that point, I think a lot of times when we're kind of going through exercises like this, we talk about, like, the rotation of being at 50% security, 75% security, 100% security. Like, at that point, it's like man all battle stations, and we are at 100% security 100% of the time, 360 degrees. And I would think at that stage, if we had just recently had a violent interaction of some sort, which it doesn't specifically say, but we're going to have perimeter alarms. We're going to have perimeter defenses that are unmanned. We're going to have armed sentries, obviously security, but we're also going to have traps too. And I think we have to go into intel gathering at that point and determine, are these children need to be questioned, and it may be best to question them outside, like without anyone leaving the compound or anyone opening a single, gate at all. Question them from 50 yards away while they're throw them some shears to cut their clothes off or whatever, right? Like, you're gonna get as close to butt naked as possible and tell me what you're doing here, while we keep the rest of our security on the thermal signatures, and we're gonna figure out what you're doing, and if they're wearing baggy clothes to look like they're starving, or if they take off their clothes and like their ribs are showing, like, we're gonna be able to tell for real what the situation is. But anyway, I think, like you said, intel gathering mode, keep them at distance. We need to figure out if we need to share that we see the thermal signatures or not. And part of that would be questioning the kids. Or number two, schwack them. I'm just kidding.
All right, so I like that you said what you said, because that outer perimeter, your quarantine type zone that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your group does decide to allow the children inside the outer perimeter after a heated argument. Okay, you guys had a heated argument. They were more concerned with the temperature dropping to low teens, below zero, children being out there, them looking frantic, scared, whatever. Okay.
I'm sitting here telling them to get butt naked, and they're like, but they're cold. I'm like, yeah, no, get butt naked.
Exactly. Here's a warm bath.
Yeah, right. A blood bath.
All right. Okay. Protocol is loosened because several members cannot morally justify leaving them outside. One child appears severely hypothermic, and a respected member says, if we lose our humanity, what are we even surviving for?
May I interject for just a brief moment? So just very quickly, I want to say, and Rip Curl, I'm so glad that you stated this. So you guys know those remote collars that have a remote switch where you can electrically shock a dog for training purposes.
For sure. I have quite a few.
Yeah, you get it. So after our last whole thing, actually one of the things that I thought of was like, well, what if they have an S-vest? What if they have this? What if they break the airlock? What if whatever thing we thought about? The thing that came to my mind was literally throwing them a device that they put on themselves to where they are at your mercy. Okay, so if they do anything at all, and it would be set up in a way to where they could put it on, but they could not alone take it off. And if that paddle, or if that receiver can send or if that thing can send a signal to shock a dog, it can send a signal to set off a cap, to set off a primary, to set off a secondary. So Rip Curl is spot on. You know what? Okay, you guys are hungry, you guys are starving, you guys are cold. Okay, everyone put one of these on.
Put on one of these Charlie Kirk mics.
Oh. Too soon? Question mark.
It's been a little bit of time.
Yeah. Woof.
But that's what I thought of when you're like, and it has to be small enough, right, that everyone around them is not going to get hurt if they're the ones that decide to act up, you know. So you need like that exact Charlie Kirk size microphone, lapel mic.
You can very easily make a directional blast to go towards the,
Right to the spinal column.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the scenario. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there.
Okay. What nobody notices, one of the older teens was coerced beforehand. He was told, open the main gate after dark or your little sister will die. He does not want to do this, but at 2:13 a.m., I don't know why they gave me this exact number, he does open it anyway. Okay? The Raiders do not storm in loudly. Instead, oh, my bad, not the main gate. Open the maintenance gate. He opens it anyway. Raiders do not storm in loudly. They silently enter, set fire to the fuel shed as a diversion, steal medical supplies, and execute one perimeter guard before disappearing into the woods.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, not if they're wearing those collars.
In the chaos, one resident accidentally shoots an innocent child in low visibility. Another member freezes and fails to engage because they cannot distinguish threats from non-combatants. And one couple's own child goes missing during the confusion. Ooh.
Dang. Wow.
All right.
That's interesting.
The aftermath is the real horror. The next morning, the surviving children are terrified. The coerced teen is discovered hiding and sobbing. The compound is divided into bitter factions. Now the arguments begin. One faction says compassion got people killed. They want harsher rules, armed exclusion, no outsiders ever again. Another faction says fear caused the chaos, not mercy. They argue the group failed because they abandoned procedures, not because they helped children. Here's the twist. Days later, scouts discover evidence that the missing child from the compound may have been taken alive by the Raiders. One of the children that are your children in your group. Now the group faces a dilemma. Attempt to rescue and risk more lives, or stay defensive and accept the loss. And the coerced teen may be the only person who knows where the Raiders went.
See, that's a tough one because the scenario that it's going through is operating as if some of the things that we had discussed didn't happen, right? So,
but I mean, but see, you could say what might happen, but when you're in a group of 20, your call might not always be the call that does happen.
I get it. Yeah.
That's what makes all of survival in a group and multiple decision makers, and maybe that you're not the one in charge, or that it wasn't your compound that you happened to be at, right? That you guys procured this compound and it was Ed's second cousin and he thinks he's boss hog there.
Or even like, and this is something I've considered too, right? Battling with the idea of taking leadership in a bad situation and not becoming a tyrant, right? Because if you're the one running, a compound, camp, whatever you want to call it, and you're like, hey, do what we say or you're donezo, like, what kind of life is that? So, we got to...
You're probably getting capped in your sleep.
Yeah.
Probably. Have you guys ever heard
who's
of...
getting poisoned or something, man? Like,
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of getting fragged? No, I mean, yeah, that's a tough call. You want to go with the same cycle? Telhart, you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so at that point, everything is like the pooch has been screwed, right?
Mhm.
So my priority is, relocking down the camp, taking those what the older teenagers. There was a few of them, right? With the coerced kid, maybe a team of 2 or 3, and going to find that kid. I mean, because that's at that point, that's the only thing that's gonna like restore morale in the compound, is getting that kid back and getting back to some sort of sense of square one. Because I mean, the fuel's gone, the gate's been breached, a guy is dead. Possibly more people have been dead. Yeah, and we have a child that's been stolen. So yeah, for me, the priority is getting that kid back. And if the coerced 15-year-old knows where they could be, then they might know numbers, they might know rotations, they might know, and if we interrogate the other kids, maybe they did escape, right? If the one is being coerced, maybe the rest of them escaped too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they could have all been from this compound, and you can get a lot of information from them.
For sure. It could be that maybe the one was coerced, but the other ones are still kind of malleable because they were just following along,
Yeah.
They were just following Zine.
I mean, I obviously step one is we're getting the group of our baddest dudes, and we're taking this team, and he's being put in the center of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have a talk, right? Because he also might want some vengeance. Maybe he never got his sister back that they threatened with him with. So maybe we need to figure out, like, what are these people in relation to you, right? Maybe they're like his aunt and uncle who are highly abusive, and they're the ones that threatened to kill his sister. His parents are gone, and he's with an aunt and uncle who are highly abusive, threatened to kill his sister if they didn't do this, right? So like we need all this information that we can gather, and the only person we're gonna have to get it from is that team. And we're probably going to question every kid and find out what they know in general for gaining as much information as possible.
Yes.
And
Bobby. Good night.
Good night. Frag Out Designs, OG Bobby.
I know.
Good night.
Looks like the boy gets upgraded to an SBS.
Yeah. Dude, well, I mean,
all right, hold on.
Hey, my bad.
All right, so we got to get all that information out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think if we gather enough information for this team, he's not coming with us.
No.
He's not coming with us. He's staying back here. We're going to have to juggle the balance of like, okay, what level of force did we think that they had when they came? And what level of force can we make sure we show up that's greater than what we're anticipating, that at least what they had here? And they could have even larger forces where they were, right? So we're going to have to figure out the dynamics of who's going to stay here and make sure this kid, he's getting roped up. I don't care what it is. He is in a brig of whatever manufactured kind we have. He is not getting out of that brig, and he's being fed enough to be okay. And that is it for that kid. Until
Concrete rebar,
yeah. So other than that, I mean, that would be my first approach. Is like, kid's not coming with us, and we need as much information. And yes, we're going to get your kid, because if it was my kid, bro, you would better be believe. I don't care if y'all ain't coming with me. Believe that shit. I'll go by my damn self. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing that comes to my mind first is this. So we're all looking at tactics, and with tactics as reasoning.
Real quick, OG Bobby B. If I can get to a point where this dog doesn't have a home, I will donate a puppy to you. And you need to let me know, because you would have to come and get the dog. But
may I make a suggestion?
if the dog doesn't have a home, I can't have enough Malinois. So, like, if I can't find a good home for it and you really want one, I will donate one to you, because you've been following me with the dogs for a long time.
OG Bobby, if you can find some folks that would buy the dogs he's selling, maybe you could like earn getting one of them for free. Yeah, something like that. Like, that would be awesome.
But I'll keep you on reserve, and the dogs cost me money every day in puppy pads, food, laundry, cleaning, life essence,
sanity,
the life of the mother dog that I have, postpartum mother dog that's in my house going through stuff. Right? It's tough, but yes.
So
if I have nothing, dude, just stay in touch.
So what I would say is, OG Bobby, the number on DLD hardware, that's my number that comes right to my phone. That's the same number that these homies have. So grab that number, or I'll respond to your message too in a little bit. But that's the same number. So a couple things. What I'm trying to think of is, like, why things are happening, and with tactics come reason, and with reason comes strategy, and with strategy there's purpose. So I'm looking at it like this: why would at least 3 men, right, however many thermal signatures, like, why would multiple adults release multiple children to then take one child, right? It's the sense behind it would only be that there's a purpose for them to take that child, which, if they're letting 5, 6, however many kids out to go get one, to remove one child is not to gain one child. It's not that people are resource. It's that they want you to leave your location, or they want to leverage the child against you for something, or both, right? So it's kind of like when you're thinking of, like, 5 moves deep into something, it's like, okay, so if I do this, then X would happen. If X happens, then what? And then you do that 5, 6 times, and you can plan out a whole situation that people don't even know that they're engaging in a like world that you've lined up in your head. So my question would be, why did they take the kid? Well, they either took the kid because they want us to all, the only thing to ban the morale of a broken compound back together is to, let's go seek vengeance and get the kid, and then we all leave, and then they all, storm in, all those thermal signatures storm in and do whatever, take it over completely to where we don't have a home to come back to, or whatever. There's a reason, right? Or they want to leverage the kid against us because they don't care about those other 5, 6, 7 kids there.
Or they want to leverage the kid for another situation like this at a different place that they've been scoping out.
Yeah, this could be their shtick. It could be like the thing that they do. They could literally be doing this to another community, 3,000 yards away at the same time, on the same, silhouetted on the same hill, the same thermal.
Yeah, I mean, but no matter what information this kid gives us, obviously we're not being like, all right, let's go. We're gonna have to send out and do some recon on the information.
Go ahead.
I mean, that way you're playing through each one of those scenarios, you know what I mean? Like, yes, we all can't leave. Yes, we have to maintain defenses. It might just be like, hey, dude, who are the 2 baddest jokers we got in this bitch? Because we're going on a special ops mission. We're gonna run the CSOP. Who's the top of the CSOP? It might be us 3, right? And we're like, all right, well, the rest of you bitches better have this shit down. And if my sons were old enough, I don't give a damn. I'm probably not leaving them back there with you guys. They're coming with me on this mission. And they're going to be trained enough and ready enough for that mission at that point. If they're old enough to go, best believe they've already received the training that they can be on the mission. Yeah. So
once we get the information that we need out of the kids, because let's keep it real, most people, like, they don't have logistic strategy and tactical, like, thought experiments like this that they go through, right? Like, just sitting here having this conversation with us guys and you guys in chat, like, this is so valuable for everything. Even if you just use thinking multiple levels deep at work on Monday, like, whatever it is, this is valuable, academic exercises. But for this type of situation, we're going to get all the information that we need from at least the one kid first, and then two, all the other kids that were incorporated. They're going to be isolated from each other, so they can't get stories, together or anything like that. But even when we do leave the compound, the thermal signatures and the children are not going to see us leaving, so they will not see anything change at the compound. They won't notice a reduction in security. They won't see heat signatures leaving. We are going to be so low key. I don't care if we got to dig tunnels. Like, we're going to be so low key that they will literally not see us coming until 100%. One is eating an MRE, one's taking a poo, and one is half asleep. Yeah, and then they're going to get rolled up on, and all of a sudden, who knows? One of those kids, maybe one of those kids could be one of their kids. Maybe it's the adults that are so desperate that they're using their kid. But obviously, they had bad intentions.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to find that information out by questioning these kids, right? Like, my mom and dad are there. Then you know exactly where they're at. And to be honest with you, we might be taking, if that's your parents inside, we might be taking you back there as our freaking
leverage
switch. Yeah, like you're giving me mine back, and I'll give you these back.
Yeah, you're just going to find out how to take that collar off of them. But
we're giving them back with the collar on, and wait till we get to swap, and then boom.
But like, here's my thing. They had negative, evil intentions anyway, right? So, man, yeah, that's tough. That's it's a very deep scenario, right? Because if you roll up to the adult signatures and just start blasting, you're not going to get all the answers. And if they were tactically intelligent, they didn't expose their kids to any of the true planning, right? Like, so they're, depending on what information we get from the kids may be like remember we talked about it last time where it was like, they just said, open, get them to open the doors and then we'll show up. It's like, so it depends on what they've exposed them to. So we may not get all the answers that we need from the kids. So we can't just roll up to the thermal signatures and start schwacking, because we need information from them too. And they could have multiple locations as well where our kiddo may have gone. So I mean, but yeah, we need to go to the end of the earth for whoever's kid it was, because if we're already struggling with morale with our compound breaking up into different factions, that's a problem waiting to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, either way, like I said, we're gonna go with the smallest team possible of the strongest ones that we have.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a contingency if we don't come back. And if we don't come back within this amount of time, I'm sorry, but these kids ain't going like that. The kid stuff is done, right? Like, I mean, I won't be there, because I'd probably be the one to be like, no, I'm going to get your kid back. But on the other hand, it's also like, now we're down our three strongest people. People know where we're at. And we got a bunch of these kids here that we got to feed and take care of. Like, you are a sitting duck for the rest of everybody who was originally in this group now.
Which all the kids could also be low-key infiltrators, right? They could have, they could have a shank up their beehole. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we've already tried to figure that out.
We've checked their beehole.
I don't think that kids can put them up there like that, but I mean, like you said, you're searched, and we made sure. But
Yeah.
however, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, look at this situation that you came from, and now you're in the group, and yeah, that's going to be rough. But
They
I don't
got
know.
caught.
I also think if we look back on this and we were like, man, should we have just schwacked the 3 thermals with the thermal and then dealt with the kids?
I considered that too.
Yeah, because then you're like, so did we just kill their parents and now we got these kids in here? And it's like, you know what? I would rather have to explain that to them than the situation that did happen, you know, where someone in our group lost their own child because like your whole life's ahead of you, dude. And unfortunately, your parents didn't put you in the proper position to take care of you. And now we actually will. And we're really unfortunate that we had to protect ourselves in this place that you are now safe in, which wouldn't exist if we didn't do things like that.
But also, if
I don't
we
know.
schwacked those thermal signatures, I mean, that's really not PID, right? Like, who knows who they are at that point? But I'm just throwing this out there. If we schwacked those thermal signatures before round 2 popped off and a kid ended up getting taken, what if us taking out those thermal signatures stopped the assault that resulted in the kid getting taken? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what would be the negative in taking out the 3 signatures?
I mean, they could be prisoners for all we know, right? Like we don't know. They could be something like a distraction. We could be getting flanked while we're looking at these thermal signatures 1,000 yards away. I mean, who knows? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to run. I love this so much, though. Like, I love like thinking like this and like these totally not realistic thought academic exercises are just something I love. So thank you for allowing me to participate.
Yeah, brother. I appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you tomorrow night over on the, what is it called? On Rumble, but the show is called the
Pewmongus Podcast.
No.
I'm just kidding. Actually, we did have a show called the Pewmongus Podcast. Me and Shooting
Why
show.
Why is it like escaping my mind right now?
It's what is it? It's like After Hours.
Armory.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, After Hours Armory. Yeah.
I see the banner all the time, but
Yeah, it's kind of just DLD After Dark, but on Saturdays, you know. But I actually don't know because Josh came on Tuesday. I don't know if he'll be with us tomorrow, but we'll be having funsies either way.
Yeah, it's getting late for you guys. Kind of late here too. Later for
Yeah.
you.
2:09, man. It's getting late.
Is it right now? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we're 3 hours.
Dude, time
Hey.
flies.
Telhart, you got anything to add to this scenario? Dark, we'll catch you tomorrow night.
See ya later, Telhart. Y'all take it easy.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Stay safe. Have a blessed day.
You too. God bless y'all. Everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate y'all supporting the homies. Christ is King. Christ is Lord. King and King. Lord of Lords. And we'll see you on the next one.
Love you, Darky.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess the only like negative of taking out the thermal signatures early is what if they had information? But like you said, taking them out might have, presented us in a posture that totally negates the raid. So, I mean, I really don't see any harm in it. Because if they had information, they probably would not have given it up anyway if they're raiders.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to capture, right? Like if you felt but see, we only have 20 people, so it's like, man, with only 20, I'm going to be honest with you. With the kids group, if they're between 8 and what was the numbers? 8 and 15. I'm sorry, but the 15-year-old ain't coming in here, dog.
No. Yeah. Like you're a military age male at that point. Like,
yeah, bro, you ain't coming in. I don't care. Freeze your ass off, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go back to where you can. Go back to the thermal signatures. All right. Huddle with those 3 for warmth. Okay.
Yep.
You're not going to freeze.
Yep, you're not gonna freeze. We'll take 2 of the 8s, maybe 1 of the 3s. That would have been looking on it like no way. And if you were 15, you definitely aren't like, hey, come on in, and I'm not eyeballing the shit out of you all night.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
you were never getting a chance to get to know Extra Gate, homie, 15-year-old. Yeah, not happening. That's just not happening. So, you know, I think that would probably be the way to go. Is like, we'll take a couple of the smallest, littlest ones.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them first. We'll see what information they have. Yeah, the only way you're getting brought into any gate, I don't care if you're 8 years old. I don't care if you're 15 years old. There's still going to be a gun pointed at you during and anything with these gates. So, yeah, we'll take 2 of the youngest ones. Hey, 15-year-old, go back and tell those people in the woods your ass ain't welcome here because you're damn near fully grown.
Yeah.
And so you go cuddle up with them, build an igloo. I don't give a shit. You're not coming in. And we'll take some of the smallest ones. We'll take care of them for the night. And if you guys have any balls, we'll see you at the brink of daylight out here, and we'll give these kids right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It will be, you have my word, they will be unharmed. We don't harm children. Like, and if you don't want that chance, then all of y'all stay out there in the woods and enjoy your life.
Yeah, stay out there and freeze because like we're barely keeping ourselves together. Like, yeah, 20 people, low resources. That it's hard to accommodate any taking on of anything at that point.
Absolutely.
Especially in the winter. I mean, in the summer, crops, good weather, maybe, right? Like, these people can sleep outside during the summer. Mm-hmm. But it's like, in the winter, everybody's got to go into a shelter. Unknown people going into a shelter with you? What? I don't think even the people that are on the moral high ground of things, that are like, well, they're children, we have to let them in. Do you want them all sleeping with you? Like, you don't know anything about them.
There's a gate there for a reason.
Right. You see the walls we built? See the dudes with the thermals? Like, things get bad.
Yep, straight up. We'll take 2 or 3 of the really little ones, young, super young. If you've hit puberty already, you ain't coming in.
and if the moral high ground people really want to put up a fit, you can go outside and take care of them.
Yep. Take them a jacket.
And
guess what?
That opens up the shelter for the kids to go into now. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for your morality.
Fully agree with you, Telhart. That is the way to approach that situation, and then you cut off anything. Like, you cannot bring in anyone that is like I said, past puberty, capable of any type of betrayal or damage, unless they are like fully tied up behind bars, watched the entire time. The person, like, you can't just be like, well, you're guarding watch of the room. Like, is there a window? Can they get out of the window? Yeah. Like, come on, bro. I was a teenager. If there's windows, those windows don't hold teenagers.
No, they don't. Yeah, and if it's like, I mean, yeah, you'd have to break up that group. You'd have to have at least 1 or 2 guys watch each group because it's an all-night affair. Mm-hmm. And you have to feed them. You have to make sure that they're safe, not like in the group themselves, so they don't like start crazy beating on each other or beat on the guards. And then you have to make sure that they're not carrying some sort of, virus or bacteria, or because I mean, wintertime supplies are low. If one of these kids even has like a flu or like a stomach bug, it's game over for half your community. Mm-hmm. Then what are you going to do when another violent encounter happens?
Yeah, and half your team is shitting themselves and throwing up and can't hold anything down, and you can't defend them. Yeah.
And then and then they get the they get the stomach bug, then that's food, that's water completely wasted
Mhm.
when they're puking. Like,
and medical supplies now that you're burning through that you didn't
Yeah.
have to burn through.
no,
I mean,
like it's
in the dead of winter when things are bad enough and you don't even know if you'll be able to get supplies for a while. You don't know. I mean, look at California during a thing, and look what happens to CVS. And that's like not after
Yeah.
a localized catastrophic event.
that's after.
Um,
I mean, that's like a normal day in California, and it's bare. Like,
So, yeah, I mean, the only thing you could do that makes any sense is, I think someone mentioned, I wouldn't care if it was a male or a female at 15 years old. Females
No.
could be highly dangerous.
they totally are.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just as much as the males. I mean, it's different hormones, but it's the same level of like hormone fluctuation and resentment and confusion. I mean, it's a gamble that you just can't afford.
No, you can't afford it. You just take the youngest ones, keep an eye on them. If they're sick, you quarantine them.
Yeah,
Not around any of our other kids. They probably wouldn't be around any of our other kids for a while anyway.
Yeah.
You're talking at least a week. Would you not even know there's other kids here?
right. The
you
vetting
know.
process. Yeah,
Yeah, massive vetting process. I don't care if you're 8, 9, 10. Like, you still don't know. There's 9, 10-year-olds out there that can cause the group and damage and destruction. Even if you got to think, like, how destructive children are already. Like, you're talking about, dude, we're in the middle of winter in this horrible scenario. Like, our kids we've had to train to make sure that they don't waste one freaking thing because we can't waste stuff right now. And then you have these kids, it's like, no, you have no free reign of nothing. Welcome to the house of we are your masters if you want to live. And I'm sorry, like, here's a teddy bear, here's a blanket, here's, you want to come sit by the fire for a little bit. You want to, we want to make you as comfortable as possible, but you have to understand you are in a new place that has very strict rules, and you must abide by these rules. Otherwise, you can go back out into the woods with the people that had no rules, and you were going to die because of it. So you tell me what you want.
yeah. I mean, it's just too many variables at such a place of weakness, right?
Lightning Sky.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I think that's the way. Well, guys, we rolled over 3 hours. Telhart, dude, super appreciate you. We'll tell it one more time.
Yeah.
Telhart is helping the brother out while he's going through tough times. Handcrafted knives, definitely. You're Telhart Actual on Instagram, right? No, you are.
No, it's Smith and Steward on Instagram.
Perfect name for you. The Smith and Steward on, is it the or just Smith? I don't think there's the. It's just Smith and Steward.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just Smith and Steward. It should come up if you search it either way.
Nice. And if you go to Red Dawn Readiness on Instagram, you'll see knives collaborated with him. You'll see these knives in particular on my Instagram. And if you are interested in purchasing them, we would appreciate it. And other than that, guys, Telhart, we got to do this more often. We got to get you set up now for doing live streams, because you are a steward who should share your wealth of knowledge with the world. And, really appreciate you coming on. Love the conversation with you.
Yeah, man.
You don't have a YouTube channel, right? Just the Instagram right now?
Yeah, just Instagram. I do post some videos on Rumble and YouTube, like knife making stuff, but
Sick.
I don't do it too often.
Do you have links to your Rumble and YouTube on your Instagram?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I could show you how to do that, but I'm sure
Yeah, I'm not, like, technology is not my friend. So, yeah.
I am
I
not
make
savvy
magic.
with magic.
Magic.
But yeah, man, absolute honor having you on here, dude. Really appreciate you. And
Yeah, man.
make sure you guys support him always. Solid dude. We literally have a channel like this and have always from day one not prayed for people that come in and help you when you need help, but just prayed for guys who were like Matthew Telhart. And that's what makes the community great. If you follow this channel, sub to this channel, appreciate it. If you sub, like, comment, let me know what you thought of the show. If you hated it, hit the dislike button. If you despised it, comment about it in the chat, in the comment section. But you'll see, like, if the live stream comments play, there's tons of really cool people that we have met along the way. And, we just want to thank God for Matt Telhart and him being on the show tonight. And other than that, guys, we will see you next week. I'll be dropping videos more frequently, because I have a little bit of time. And so I'll be adding to the YouTube channel, and we're going to be back rolling. But yeah, Matt, thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me, man. Like, totally, man. I thoroughly enjoy these.
We could even do, I don't know if I can add you to it, but we will try it. We can even do an Instagram live maybe this weekend or during the week or something. So
Yeah, totally, man. We'll try it out.
all right.
Yeah, man.
Everybody,
You guys, stay safe. Have a blessed day. And if you can, definitely hit up the old Nomad to get one of those knives. Help him out.
appreciate it. Yeah, if you want it and you send a Cash App and like we don't have, you happen to see this and you want to buy the knife, the knives are $150 shipped. And all you got to do is either send me a message, put your name, write for knife. You can direct message me on Instagram. You could put it in the comments. My email is literally on my Instagram. It's on my YouTube channel. Like, you can email me. And you definitely will not be like, you will get your knife 1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Make sure that if and when you do, let him know whether you want the double-edged one or the full serrated one. There are 2 of each. And it's the stray dog batch for my man the Nomad. Like,
straight
they're
dog.
solid.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hey,
We'll
man,
do it
anytime.
again soon.
Happy to help.
Christ is King, guys. Keep the faith, mainstream, have faith, and literally Jesus Christ is the only way. He's not just the way. He's not just a way. He is the only way. So whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing and go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Over and out, guys.
The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.